What's going on, you brothers? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, back again for yet another classic live stream. Before I go any further, can you please press a one in the live stream chat if you can hear me loud and clear? Is my audio coming in loud, clear, and crisp? I want to make sure you brothers have a great experience in hearing the intel, the forthcoming classic intel that is due to be dropped very soon in the stream. But I need to make sure if I'm coming in loud and clear, brothers. So press a one in the chat if you can hear me, brothers, loud and clear, okay? Before I go any further, let me check the sound settings on my side. It looks good over here, but I need to know if you brothers can hear me loud and clear, please. Mayday, mayday. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, Jay Mitch. Appreciate you, bro, for confirming that. John Thomas, thank you, bro. So let's get straight into it. So, brothers, welcome to another classic live stream. I want to say, brothers, a huge shout out to all the subscribers and supporters over the past few years in supporting this movement. It is greatly appreciated. 8 years of me doing this on this YouTube channel, a long time, but I know that I've saved and helped the lives of many brothers throughout those many days. Okay, as you come in, please get the likes up, hit the like button as soon as possible. That will be greatly appreciated. And of course, make sure you join the Patreon as soon as possible. Make sure you hit the cash apps and the super chats throughout tonight. That'd be greatly appreciated. So let's get straight into it, brothers. So tonight we'll be speaking about the wonderful country known as Australia. And as you can see, Australian women have an affinity for brothers. And we have a guest here who spent some good time in Australia, who dated Australian women, who lived in Australia as well, here to provide classic intel for us brothers. So without any further ado, Mr. Brothers Keeper, do you mind giving us a brief intro as to who you are, where you're from, what you do, and anything special about you, brother? Then we go into it straight away, brother.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm happy to be on once again, IP. Thank you for having me. My name is Johnny. I'm from London, England. I was living in Australia for 4 years. Up until the middle of last year, I returned to the UK. Excuse me. And I work in the real estate section, but I'm also a men's transformational coach. I mentor and facilitate transformation amongst men and kind of help them matriculate from, I guess, boyhood into adulthood, manhood, and also just level up and get their affairs in order so that they can travel, live free, which is what I love about this movement, and kind of just live a world-class life. So just here to kind of try and provide some intel about my experiences in Australia as far as dating, living, lifestyle, etc. So I hope I can do that.
Fantastic, bro. That was a great intro. Thank you very much, Johnny. So let's get straight into the meat of things, brother. Australia. I mean, do you mind giving us a background as to why you moved to Australia in the first place? That's a very interesting country, bro. And what was the process in you moving there? Was it a working visa? Was it just going there on a holiday and you got a job there? Why did you move to Australia and how did you move to there, bro?
Yeah, great question to start with, IP. To be honest with you, I always had an affinity for Australia. You'll know this growing up in the UK. We used to have TV shows such as Home and Away and Neighbours on television. So for me, I was always like, oh, hang on, Australia, Kylie Minogue, Natalie Imbruglia, that's where them cute white women with the funny accents live, right? It was like the weather looked good, the people looked good. I was like, okay, this is an interesting country and they speak English over there, but where the hell is that, Australia? So it was always kind of in my mind. But the way it kind of came about, interestingly enough, and a word of advice here, brothers, social media. My partner, my former partner, lived in Australia. She was someone I connected with through social media. We built a bond online, and she kind of invited me out there. And I took a sabbatical from work in the UK where I live at the time. And I spent a month out there traveling, meeting her, connecting with her. And I loved what I saw in that month. And I just set my mind on moving there. So after a month in Australia, back in the year 2017, I came home, decided it was for me. And then I moved out there on, as you say, a working visa, which eventually matriculated into a permanent visa, which means I'm technically now a permanent resident. So I can always return to the country.
Oh, fantastic, brother. Oh, so you got a permanent visa over the 4 years you were in Australia.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. It's just like I was saying to the brothers on my last stream in Turkey, and this is something I really advocate for if you want to be a travel brother. It's not just about traveling to places for 2, 3 months at a time. It's about getting permanent residencies. So I would advise many brothers to try and collect as many as they can. Currently, I'm a UK citizen, obviously, but I have a Turkish residency. I mentioned that on my Turkish stream I did on your channel, but I also have a permanent residency for Australia. And I think that's really key if you want to travel often, have residencies so that you can go and come from these countries and return to them at your leisure.
Fantastic, brother. Fantastic. This is great intel, bro. So, brother, let me ask this right now. Where were you living predominantly in those 4 years in Australia, brother? Was it Melbourne? Was it Sydney? Was it Gold Coast? Break it down for us, bro. Where were you
Yeah,
at?
interestingly enough, IP, when I first went out there for that month, I told you when I traveled around, I did a sort of whistle stop tour of the whole country. So I went to the Sydneys, the Melbournes, the Gold Coast, the Sunshine Coast, all these places. But eventually I settled with my former partner on the Gold Coast, which is in Queensland. And that was the place out of all the ones I saw that was the most affordable, had the best lifestyle, and certainly the best living costs. So that's where I was living. I was living between Brisbane and the Gold Coast, which are both in Queensland.
Oh, okay, fantastic, brother. Um, Gold Coast and Brisbane, fantastic. So let me ask this, brother. So you said you met your Australian girlfriend over social media.
Sure.
Who first? So was it through Facebook? Was it through Instagram? And who first initiated the approach? And how did it get stronger, brother?
Yeah, we met through Instagram. If I remember correctly, I think we might have been following a similar account that we kind of both, I guess, had in common or someone we connected with. Is the way we both remember it, and it just started off very innocently. You know, I think I liked her content at the time, and a couple comments and DMs then got exchanged, which obviously evolved into WhatsApps and video calls, and then from there. All the way into me going out there. So, like most dating apps nowadays, Instagram I say is the ultimate dating app. I know brothers use Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, and I've talked about those on my Turkish stream. But Instagram is a super effective way to meet people because, as we all know, it collapses geography and you can meet people all over the world. So, yeah, as I say, it was very innocent. Just developed a friendship, and then, like I say, it kind of evolved from there and into me saying I'm going to come out there and travel around for a month, and then took off from there.
Fantastic, brother. So I now want to break down the stream into two parts, and or maybe not two parts, but try and get this first question out of the way first. So you said you traveled there for 1 month, right? You went all over Australia. How was that like as a black man traveling all around Australia? And how did the woman treat you there? You know, when you when you were traveling different places in Australia, were they checking for you, brother?
It was incredible. It's such another, like I said it on my Turkish stream, but I'll reiterate, it was another hidden gem. I think a lot of brothers don't know because it's so far away, right? It's a full 24 hours from us in the UK, so it'll probably be just as far from the brothers who are watching in America, but it is well worth its weight in gold. You have to understand, even though it's that far away, it's still a conceptually Western country. So
Mm.
they're they're very in tune with what happens in the UK and what happens in America. So I was treated very, very well. No racism, no fascism. Very open-minded towards me. My accent, my skin, everything was a question and a conversation. So it was a very welcoming country, and I felt, if I'm being honest with you, well safer there than I have in all the years I've lived in England. And as far as
Ooh.
the concerned, certainly a lot of feminine attention. And of course, as you can imagine, brothers, some of the most beautiful women you'll ever see live in Australia.
Oh, so bro, this is crazy, bro. So you're telling me, right? You know, during your time in Australia, you had literally women who were eights, nines, and tens checking for you. So they do check for brothers out there in Australia. Was it what? So let me ask this then, brother. Was it the white woman? Was it the black woman? Was it the I think they've got natives out there in Australia. Was it the Asian woman there as well? Who was giving you the most play, brother, from those groups of women?
Great question. It's very nuanced, actually, and depending on where you go. Where I was living in Queensland, Brisbane, and the Gold Coast, there's predominantly sort of a white orientation there. But I would tell you, if you were to go to Melbourne, you'll see more Greek, Italian, Turkish women there, and you'll get a lot of attention from them as well. So also Iranians and Syrian women. It's very diverse depending on where you go. But I think as a brother, in Australia, just expect to get a lot of attention because there just aren't that many brothers who go to visit, as I say. So for me, I found it a bit of a mix, to be honest. When I was in Queensland, definitely the most attention I got was from white women and specifically Brazilian women. There is a large
Ooh.
migration of Brazilian people that live in Australia. I've made many friends in the Brazilian community. So from all over, and Brazil, as you guys will already know, is a country of some 200 million. So many of them, to kind of learn their English, to get student visas, to get better working opportunities, migrate to Australia. So you will definitely see that community at large in places in Queensland.
Oh, wait, brother, pause right there. Did I just hear Brazilian in Australia? And they're checking for
People don't know.
brothers too? This is crazy, man.
People don't
Oh
know.
my
People, I know a
goodness.
lot of the brothers travel to Brazil for that reason, for the Brazilian women, but there's loads of them in Australia. They are everywhere. I would say that's the fastest growing subculture in Australia outside of Asian people. There were so many in Brisbane and the Gold Coast, it was untrue. And they go there in large groups together.
So, brother, when you say Brazilian, is it the white Brazilian? Is it the black Brazilian, or is it the peanut butter skin Brazilian woman that are checking for brothers out there, man? Let us know, brother, please, man, please, brother.
Yeah, mainly the European Brazilian women. So these will be the women of Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish descent. There are some sort of the more, I guess, I think they call them pardo, which that's the Brazilian
Mm.
word, sort of mulatto mixed ones. But certainly the most is the European ones. Yeah, there's loads of them there.
And those women are checking for brothers heavy in Australia.
100%. You have to understand, just like you guys will know who have been to Brazil, it's a very ethnically diverse country. So they're super open minded towards dating foreign men. Because don't forget, they're in Australia. So they'll date men from Australia, but they'll also date you if you're in Australia because it's a very open minded country. It really isn't like other conceptually Western countries where racism is kind of an undertone. It's just super open minded. And Australia is very easygoing. So if you assimilate into the culture, expect to get some love out there.
Oh my goodness, brother, this is first class intel you won't get anywhere else. Where else have you heard that Brazilian women are in Australia right now and they're checking heavy for brothers too? I never knew about this, brothers. This is crazy, man. So, brother, let me ask this right now, brother. Okay. Um, what about the Asian woman there? Because I know that there's a lot of Asian women out there in Australia. Were they giving you play, brother?
Yeah, that was a bit trickier to be honest, because when I got out there, I saw a lot of Asian women. But as you guys can imagine, you tend to see them dating a lot of the white men. So I didn't really necessarily have too much joy with Asian women. And of course, brothers, remember I had a serious partner at the time. I would definitely notice one or two looks from the Asian women. I think it's definitely achievable, but I would say by and large, what I witnessed was Asian women were gravitating towards white men more. And the Asian women I would see in Australia typically came from Vietnamese, Cambodian, and Filipino backgrounds. Now, that's not to say you wouldn't necessarily have success with them, but of course, there weren't too many black guys there. So I didn't have much of a barometer to kind of judge whether we had um, good opportunities with them. I wouldn't bet against it, however, because again, I made friendships with people in the Asian community. I just never got a chance to actually date anyone from that community. But I don't doubt for a second, just like the Brazilian and just like the white women out there, it is very achievable to find an Asian counterpart because there's so many of them. They are such a huge part of Australian culture, specifically in Queensland. I wouldn't doubt for a second that they would be receptive to dating brothers.
Incredible, bro. So from what I've heard so far, it seems like white women and Brazilian women will be brothers' best bet in Australia so far to
I
get
would say
women.
so. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I'll go region to region because I traveled around. I'd say in Queensland, white and Brazilian women. I think in Melbourne, you'll probably get love from Greek and Italian women because that's the biggest, I guess, ethnic minorities out there. In Sydney, you'll see a lot of Iranian women. You'll definitely get love from them and Lebanese women. So the sort of more
Ooh.
Middle Eastern look, if brothers are interested in that, I would say go to places like Sydney for that. Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, these are all areas in Queensland. Yeah, lots of white, lots of Brazilian women, gorgeous, like white and Brazilian women as well. And like I say, they're not like conceptually Western women from other countries. They're much more easygoing and open-minded. We're talking eights, nines, and tens here, but down to earth, humble, respectful, feminine eights, nines, and tens.
Jesus, oh my goodness, brother. I want to now pivot to the Lebanese and Iranian woman.
Mm.
You're telling me those women out there checking for brothers in Australia, Lebanese and Iranian. And
100%,
this is
100%.
crazy.
I remember when I was working in Brisbane city centre. When I first got out there, I was just kind of doing casual work before I could sort of figure out my proper corporate job situation. And I remember I was doing a job, and this gorgeous dime Iranian girl came up to me and just literally straight up to me was just like, "Oh wow, you're so handsome. Where are you from? Can I get your number?" And I was like, "Wow, where are you from?" She's like, "Oh, I'm Iranian." Just like that. So just in my face. I was shocked because I was like, wow, like this doesn't happen again in the West, really. How I said this on the last stream when I was in Turkey. I was like, you don't really see this type of thing very often. But she was just she basically took her shot at me, and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, here's my number. And obviously linked up, and the rest is history. But stunning, like young, feminine Iranian girl just walked up to me and was just like, oh, hey, just saw you there and just thought, hey, I'd come over and say hello. Where are you from? And that's something brothers will know just from traveling in general. When we go to places where we're not in the norm, and I mentioned this on the Turkey stream, it's a great conversation start. It's a great icebreaker and something you can really use to your advantage. And in a place like Australia, if you're American, if you're from the UK, if you're from the motherland, your accent, your look is going to stand out, and it's going to give you an extreme leverage in a country like that, where there are gorgeous women who don't get a chance to really see brothers. You have to understand, they watch all of our TV shows. They watch American TV, UK TV. So they're very intrigued by black men. They just don't get to meet them because how often will black men travel to a country that's 24 hours away? So think about that, brothers.
Fantastic, brother. Great breakdown there. So let me ask this, brother. So for some reason, we know that white Australian women have some sort of love for Western black men, particularly American black men and UK black men. When you are out there in Australia, brother, why is it that they like us so much, in your opinion, based on what you saw, based on what you heard? What is it that attracts white Australian women to brothers in Australia, bro? Because it's crazy. I've heard some crazy stories out there from other brothers too.
Yeah, I have a great answer for this because obviously I had a white Australian girlfriend who was gorgeous. You have to understand, right? They are heavily influenced by Western media, and with amongst women, right? What's the big show that all women watch now in the West? Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And who do they date? Exactly, African American athletes and entertainers. So when a black man comes out there and is on point, they're thinking, oh, hang on, the women we watch every day on TV, who do they date? They are very, very influenced by American culture. Massively. And I said this on the Turkish stream, a lot of these countries are. And because those women date black men, it's basically favoring us massively. So when I got out there, I saw that. And even my ex-girlfriend, all of her friends were like, oh, do you have other black friends? Will they come to Australia? Beautiful women. I kid you not. I was telling a lot of my homeboys, I'm telling you, you'd be dining out here instead of dealing with these foolish women in the UK. They are very, very interested, not even intrigued, interested in black men. They just don't see them every day. And these are gorgeous women as well, brothers. So they watch a lot of Western media, and hip hop and pop culture influences their dating tastes. They just don't have access to black men. So that's one of the key reasons I found, for sure, because I know even with my partner, she's like, well, I'd never dated a black guy before. But when I started to see all this media and all this stuff I was watching, I was like, oh, hang on, black guys kind of interest me, but I never met them. So I know for a fact from her and her friends, just their little sample, that's one of the key reasons.
Fantastic breakdown there, brother. This is some crazy intel, brothers. Again, another classic. I mean, we're only 20 minutes in, but this is a classic already, man. Brazilian Australian woman, Iranian Lebanese. Brother, speak more about Lebanese women as well out there in Australia, because Lebanese women, they're very hot. So a couple of years ago, I went on a date with a Lebanese chick. It didn't work out because something weird happened, and some homeless guy came and started wanted to fight me. It was crazy, bro. She must have got a bit shook. Like, who's this guy? Why is he fighting you? I was like, I don't know this guy, but crazy story, bro. Why is it that Lebanese women are checking for brothers out there in Australia, bro? Why did they do so?
Yeah, with that one, I think it's similar thing. Again, it's like they don't see it every day, but also I think with them, slightly different from the Brazilian and the traditional white Australian women, they're like an ethnic minority. And because they're an ethnic minority, they have a gravitation towards other ethnic minorities, thus us being black men from America, the UK. So I think for them, it's like, well, we're kind of outsiders. And we don't necessarily find white men that attractive. Again, Lebanese women told me this, and Iranian women told me this. So we're kind of their go-to, they're kind of other go-to. So that's what I found for sure. I think they're the other, and they see us as the other. So it's like, that's a good fit.
So, what was your personal experience with Lebanese women out there in Australia, bro? Did you go on dates with them? Did they approach you like the Iranian chick did? Or did you see them dating other brothers that made you think, okay, they're like brothers too?
No, I didn't date one, but one or two African American brothers I saw out there were dating them. Obviously, like I said, I had a girlfriend for most of my time in Oz, but whenever I would see sort of those type of women, they were always dating brothers. Always, they weren't dating traditional Aussie dudes, and the African American dudes I knew out there. That was their go-to because that was just their particular taste. But I have on good authority, they found it much easier to get with those particular women while they were in Australia. So, not me personally, but I definitely saw African American brothers dating Lebanese women by the plenty, especially in Sydney. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. Hold on. Let me read a couple of super chats, bro. Shout out to Mr. Robert Bonyim Fura for the $15 super chat. Thank you for the support, brother. It means a lot. Thanks for international passport. I'm dating my Tanzanian girl. I'm treated as a king. Continue doing God's work. Oh, won't he do it? Jesus Christ, creator of heaven and earth, won't he do it for the brothers right now, man? This is what I want to hear, man. This right here is the gospel. Patrick Mbon Yimfura, reach out to me on IG, please. I want to definitely speak to you about how your Tanzanian girlfriend is treating you. Like I told you, brothers, I want you brothers to replace UK black women, US black women with foreign black women. There's no need for you to be dating anymore in the West. If you're into black women, there's black women all around the world, man. So I appreciate you, Patrick. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. H for the $199 super chat. He says, thanks for bringing such great content. I appreciate you both for the kind words, man. If you brothers are watching this stream right now and you appreciate this channel and what I do, please hit the cash apps, please hit the super chats. Make sure you join the Patreon to support this channel as much as you can. We are changing lives out here, man. So I appreciate you, Mr. H. This is great, bro. Let me ask this, brother. So, my next question now goes on to the personalities of Australian women. Obviously, it is a Western country. Would you say they are similar in their thoughts and ideas and aligned to, American and UK women, or are they just a bit different from American and UK women? Maybe the ethnic groups out there are a lot more traditional, and the white Australian women are more feminist. Break it down for us, bro.
It's a good question. It's kind of a mixed bag because the culture lends itself to being a much more relaxed, easygoing culture. That said, though, because it is conceptually West, women are still liberated in the sense that they are in Canada, England, and America. So feminism is a thing. There's certainly a rise of the empowered woman out there, for sure. That said, though, like you asked, in regards to the more ethnic women, you will find they still hold somewhat traditional values. This will be women who are Polynesian, Asian, as I mentioned, Iranian, Lebanese. Those women have more of a traditional mindset. But what you will find amongst the white Australian women is certainly more of a migration now towards feminism because of the liberation of women in the West as a whole. So it is there for sure.
Okay, thank you, bro. Brothers, can we get the likes up, please? We're out here giving you gems. And if you have not liked this video already, please hit that like button. Also, if you have any questions, make sure you cash out or super chat your questions before we open up the phone lines in roughly half an hour's time. Okay, so get the chips, get the support flowing, and get the likes up, please. Thank you very much. So, brother, that's great intel there, bro. I want to now pivot, into your relationship with your girlfriend, Australian girlfriend. How was that, bro? Was she doing everything that you wanted in a woman? Was she submissive? Was she feminine? Was she cooperative? Break down your relationship dynamic, brother.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for me, I had mostly a good experience with my former partner. I think what I found was A woman who at the time I met her was certainly um, much more feminine than any I've dated here in the UK or anywhere else. Very submissive in the sense of, cooking for me every night, looking after the house, very, dutiful, and elegant and graceful. It would appear she was raised in the right way. She, in time, came to find, unfortunately, the nasty disease that is feminism. But an extended period of time, she was certainly um, a much more feminine woman, and that was obviously great because that's what we're after. I mean, that's what I'm after, certainly. So, yeah, it certainly started off, and for a while was a more feminine, style, masculine style dynamic in our relationship.
Oh, and that was a white Australian chick, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they are out there. I do think, as I said, they are there. They have been liberated to some extent, but you will find a lot of Australian women, because of the culture, are just old school in the sense. The ones that have been raised correctly, fathers in their lives, are just very dutiful. They take care of their men. And here's something, and I guess we could have got into this um, a bit later in the stream, possibly, but I found a lot of Australian women, dime Australian women, will date everyday Australian men. They call them tradies out there. These are like the handymen, and that's a very common job out there, and
Mm.
because of the economy. So these are men who are like plumbers, the type of men who are electricians, have very like sort of the earth, hardworking jobs that keep the economy ticking over. Those guys tend to date some of the most gorgeous women out there, and they're very well catered to by the women and respected in the culture and by the women for that job. Unlike what I would have witnessed, a man like that gets treated like in somewhere like the UK. He's kind of looked down upon like he's less than because of the fact that he doesn't maybe earn at the top echelon. But in Australia, those men are very well respected and they manage to date some of the most attractive women you'll see out there.
This is a great intel, bro. So if you're a blue collar working brother, you're a plumber, HVAC, or you're a truck driver, Australian women respect that kind of job roles. I know in America, American women, they look down on that. They want the six figure earning lawyer, banker, but it ain't like that in Australia, man. Great intel there, bro. Fantastic. Damn.
Yeah, not at all. That is a place where you can go get a solid, skilled job and live a good life, but also you can definitely get yourself a dime. I mean, I saw a lot of guys that I was like, wow, is that how it works out here? Like guys with, steady, honest, hardworking, skilled careers were just with some of the most gorgeous women out there. So it was good and it was refreshing and very encouraging to see.
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. Let me ask this now, brother. Um, Would you say that Australian women are wifeable, in your opinion, or not? Are they just there to have fun with, or would you actually see yourself marrying an Australian chick?
Great question. Well, obviously that was the plan, obviously, before it didn't work out. But it is a mixed bag. Of course, I was discussing this with a friend earlier this evening. I said this is the sort of place that if I'd have gone to in like my very younger days, I could have gone out there and had a lot of fun because there's just so many gorgeous women out there, and there is a sort of, again, because of the lifestyle, the weather, the nightlife, you can go out there and just have fun, more of a casual situation with women out there. But certainly because of the lifestyle, it also lends itself to family orientated lifestyle. Lots of people have pets and dogs because there's so much land and space and nature. And with that, people tend to look to settle down a lot earlier than we do in other conceptually Western countries where people prioritize their career. More people are looking for sort of home, family, marriage, lifestyle in Australia. So you will find it's a place where it's very easy to get a serious partner, a serious long-term partner. So it's a bit of both. You can do either quite comfortably, I think.
Fantastic, brother. So let me ask this, brother. Could you find a virgin and a low body count woman out there in Australia, or on average, you don't have high body counts? Because we're looking for virgins and low body count women. For me, any more than two bodies is a lot for a woman. Three, three, we can maybe discuss it, but that's a cutoff point there. Would you say that they do sleep around or they have high body counts on average?
Yeah, that's tricky. In my experience, from the women I interacted with, I definitely think you're going to get much more of a higher body count. I think they're very liberated. in the sense that they start young, so to speak. You know, they are out there doing their thing because it's not like the UK or America. There's not as many restrictions. People are very, very loose there with the social life. They have, and I don't, you'll know this, IP, but you know, when you break up from school, you have that kind of like last day where everyone goes crazy, dyes their
Mm.
hair. They do that to the fullest extreme out there. They have this thing, they call it schoolies out there, where they spend like a whole week doing that. They go to like rent out hotels on the Gold Coast and they go crazy, they drink. You know, all these young kids are staying in these hotels doing God knows what, drugs, drink, hooking up, having sex. So it's a very free culture. And that lends itself to the fact that you'll see a lot of gorgeous women out there, but don't expect them to be like more holier than thou. Expect them to have a few bodies on their resume.
Would you say, brother, that those kind of women that you discussed right now, those attributes are mostly associated with white Australian women, and you won't really see that with, you know, Iranian, Lebanese, Asian, and Brazilian Australian women, or do they all act like that, brother?
Mainly the white women, but the Brazilian women I noticed because of the Latin culture are very free sexually, very tactile, very kind of loose, and that's a culture they have in their homeland that they've just brought with them into Australia. The ones where you will find much more of a reserved attitude, a bit more respectful, sort of stricter upbringing, will naturally be the Asian women. But as far as more loose culture, that you're going to get in the white and the Brazilian women for sure.
Wow, fantastic, brother. Great answer to the question, bro. So I want to move away from the woman part. I'll come out to that later on. I want to know more about life in Australia. You know, in terms of, you know, I say my first question to you is, how was life out there, just living there as a black man? You know, 'cause obviously, as black men, racism is also is a problem in the UK, in America too. So, did you experience any racism, any sort of animosity from groups of people that weren't black towards you at all?
None whatsoever. You know, I was shocked. I remember when I first was moving there, ex-girlfriend was white. You know, it's a question you have to ask. I'm like, okay, look, I got out there for a month, but I was like, okay, now I'm preparing to move. Like, what's it really like? And I don't know how much diversity I saw. I was kind of like, you know, rose-tinted glasses, just enjoying getting to know you, having this experience, traveling all over. But living's a different beast altogether, right?
Mm.
Um, when I got there, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm telling you, you know, super diverse in Brisbane. It's great." Da, da, da. It was fantastic. Now, look, it wasn't as diverse as you would hope. You're not going to see as many black folks as you would in America or the UK. Certainly not like the motherland. However, they are extremely open-minded. This is a country, don't forget, that unlike America and the UK, has a national apology day to you know what I mean, to pay their respects to the native people that they stole the land off, the indigenous people. We don't have that in America. We don't have that in the UK. There's no national apology, nothing for how we get racially abused and treated in these countries. These people really respect others, you know, outsiders. Like I said earlier, they make it a point of conversation. They stop and take their time to actually ask you questions, take an interest in your background, and try and build social human relationships with you. So it's going to sound crazy to some, but I felt safer there than I've ever felt in the UK. And this is where I grew up. No racism whatsoever was experienced there in 4 years. Completely open,
Fantastic.
completely just relaxed culture, and just the most like laid back people I've ever met.
Fantastic, brother. How were you surviving out there? Obviously, you were there for 4 years. What work were you doing out there, brother? I mean, to support yourself and everything else, or maybe did you save up for a long time in the UK and lived off your UK money and pounds? How did you survive out there, bro?
Yeah, it was a mixed experience. When I first went there, I was in between work. I was working as a brand ambassador in the UK, and I kind of started that way, which was more casual work, which was great because it helped me start to build like really key relationships with people out there who would come to kind of define my journey and my time there. But you know, after getting some experience and living there for a while, getting the lay of the land, I managed to get a really good job working for Google Chromebook as a Chromebook territory manager, which is like a sales job, which has been really key in terms of what I'm doing now remotely. But that was my main job for the bulk of my time there. And that was great because that was a job that prior to the pandemic, because obviously I was there from 2017 to 2021, that job allowed me to travel around. So I got to see more of Queensland, you know, drive places and, you know, this amazing scenery, meet people. I would go into store to train people and do different tasks because of that job. So it allowed me to kind of form new relationships while traveling. And I didn't have a sort of a boss or anyone kind of spying on me or checking up on me. It was a freedom based job where I never had to actually report to anyone. I had tasks and quotas, but I worked independently. So very, very suitable for the lifestyle I'm currently leading.
Wow, you are at Google. Fantastic, bro. How did you get a role like that? Obviously, coming straight to Australia. Did you get that in the UK first, and or did you get it over there in Australia? Did you just apply for the job and you got it straight away?
Yeah, as I said, I was working casually as a brand ambassador, and a friend of mine who was doing a similar job, he eventually, and he was like an IT, expert. He knew so many things within the IT sector, and I know that's a big thing you preach on the channel, IP. And him and I just kind of clicked and became really good friends. And the job we were doing was casual. So when he got his job at Google, I was always kind of, again, reaching out to him, picking his brains, like, what's going on with Google? How's things over there? Do they have any opportunities? So that whole networking thing, again, brothers, as I talked about on the Turkey stream, building
Mm.
those social relationships, just like I did with my man Obstacles to Opportunity from this channel, reaching out to people, adding value to their life, letting them pour it back into you. Having that friendship helped me get the job at Google because eventually an opportunity came up and my friend was like, look, they want to take someone on casually at first, but if you work hard, it could turn into a full-time opportunity. So I took that casual job. It was like for 3 months, I absolutely crushed it, smashed the quotas, the targets, the sales, and then they took me on full-time, and then I got a full-time job working for Google.
Fantastic, and this is why, brothers, man, IT is the future. IT and traveling, they go hand in hand. You
Mhm.
know, how many times are we going to help you, brothers, and guide you, brothers, into the right paths? You know, I think we do a lot for brothers on this channel, man. You have intel on foreign women. You have intel on explicit intel stories on the Patreon about foreign women. We're pushing IT upon you, brothers, to help you set up remote working and earn good money all around the world. I mean, it's crazy what we do for you brothers on the channel, man. So, appreciate the channel and get the likes up, man. Support the channel, cash app, super chats, join the Patreon, and definitely give us a lot of thanks in the comment section as well, because it's a lot of hard work that goes onto this channel, man. So a great point there, Johnny, man. IT is the future for brothers in this international passport space. It allows you freedom to travel, to do what you want, man, and meet all the beautiful foreign women that you deserve and need. So next question for you, brother, is how is the food out there in Australia?
Fantastic, man. I still miss it to this day. They've got some of the, and I love seafood, me personally, brothers, but they've got some of the best seafood as you can imagine, being by the water out there. They've got the best crab and lobster, calamari. Particularly, brothers, if you get the chance to visit, go to the Sunshine Coast. Food there is just exquisite. And for someone who's a big seafood lover, I developed even more of an affinity living out there because they had some of the best sushi I'd ever tried, super fresh stuff as well. So I think the food is A1, but the meats, the fruits, all of that is great as well. And very affordable. Um, yeah, very affordable while you're living in Australia. So food was A1 for sure.
Fantastic, bro. In terms of costs and living costs out there, rent, food, is it cheap to live out there in Australia, or is it expensive in your opinion? And also, how strong is the Australian currency as compared to the UK and pounds and dollars and Canadian dollars, bro? But give us just how you were surviving there. Was it expensive or was it cheap?
Good question. Yeah, people ask me this a lot now that I'm back home. It's interesting because I would say comparatively, the cost of living isn't as high as say like London or um, I don't know, New York or Los Angeles, somewhere like that. However, as I mentioned, the average salary won't be as high as one of those cities. So you may not earn as much if you have a regular standard job like what I had at Google, but then you'll also find the cost of petrol, running a car, rent, food is a lot lower than other conceptually Western countries. So that's kind of the best way to break it down, essentially.
Okay, thank you, bro. Awesome, awesome. And do they pay well out there in terms of wages in Australia?
Yeah, I think so. My job at Google was a pretty high paid salary, and I managed to finagle that job just through having a good, social relationship with a man who became a really still is a dear friend of mine now. So it certainly is a culture of who you know and not what you know as much as anything. And that was a good paid job that I didn't need to necessarily. I mean, I had the skills, but I didn't necessarily need to like have trained in anything. I just managed to kind of use my network and my friend, and I kind of learned most of the things I need to learn on the job. And it was a pretty high paid job, considering, the fact that I didn't actually go off and train directly with Google. I just used my friend to get in there. So that speaks volumes to the fact that you can get a good career out there if you can hustle and you can find the right people and the right opportunities without needing to kind of go off and maybe study for 3, 4, 5 years.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. Awesome. Shout out to Mr. Osama Abdu for the $5 super chat. He says, what's the intel on Aboriginal women? Are they attractive, curvy, feminine, body count, etc.? Do they identify with black culture altogether? Intel. Good question, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I can answer that. With Aboriginal people, that's really interesting because I also get asked that a lot. You don't see them in sort of mainstream society as much as you would think. Funnily enough, they kind of live in the more rural parts, and when you do see them in the sort of the main cities, they're kind of. And I know that it's unfortunate they're stereotyped a little bit, but you do see a lot of the ones that are sort of drunk, homeless, unemployed. But as far as the women, there are some attractive ones, but like I say, they live in the more rural parts, so you won't see them in nightclubs, coffee shops, bars, even in the workplaces. They're not really there so much. The only people that you'll see that are like, I guess, somewhat indigenous are the Polynesian people who are attractive. They're kind of more in mainstream Australian society.
Oh, okay. Great question there, Osama Abdu. Thank you, bro. These Polynesian women. Oh, okay. Where are they coming from? So I'm guessing that there's a difference between Aboriginal and Polynesian women.
Yes,
Aboriginals are native to Australia.
yes.
So where on earth are the Polynesian women coming from? Are they from Philippines? So excuse my ignorance, but are they from the Philippines or something like that, bro?
No. I had to learn a lot of this. There's so many things I had to learn while living it. So Polynesian people are basically the people that are like sort of almost like if you know what Samoan people look like. So they're
Mm.
kind of like Asian, but like they look like they could be mixed with sort of almost like The Rock, like how he's kind of like black but also Samoan. They look like that. They've got brown skin and they're very built, by the way. So if you brothers like those sort of thick, curvy people, these women are built like big bums, big arms, those proper curvy, like, and I think they call them the term is Maori or they call them moldy. That's the term, but I think they're called Maoris, but they're typically from sort of those countries like Tonga and Samoa and places like that. But obviously, a lot of them live in Australia. But very, very well built, very attractive women.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro, for that intel. Got a super chat here from Mr. H. Thank you, bro, for the support again. $199. He says, what are your thoughts on Perth, Australia? Is that the best city?
Yeah, I never visited Perth. Perth is Western Australia. Funnily enough, when I go back, and I'm thinking about possibly going back next year, Perth is on my list. So I didn't get a chance to do Western Australia. But I know a few people that were living there, and I've heard some really, really nice things about it. Completely. So one thing the brothers have to understand: there's different time zones in Australia. So I was in Brisbane, which is a different time zone to Perth. Perth is like a couple of hours behind, I think. It's either behind or is it behind or I think it's behind. But Western Australia, a different climate, different lifestyle there. But I'm keen to check it out. So I didn't visit there. I've been to the Gold Coast, Brisbane, Sunshine Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, and yeah, those are the places I've been to.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. Um, Okay, so looks like the quality of life out there in Australia is pretty fantastic. Would you say more so than the UK and America?
100%, 100%. If it wasn't for the distance, I'd probably be there now. I'm only back in Europe because it makes sense for my job, time zone wise, obviously location wise. It's a lot closer to like family and friends, my nearest and dearest. But lifestyle, it trumps any Western country, in my opinion, all ends up because you're not going to get beaches like that anywhere in the UK, anywhere in America. You're not going to get lifestyle like that anywhere in the UK or America. You're not even going to get women like that anywhere in the UK or America. It's just a different kettle of fish. And brothers need to really think about traveling there and get a piece of the action because it's untapped gold. Like I said, these women are heavily influenced by Western media. You'll go there and you'll get dimes, curvy. And so I think a brother I saw in one of the questions, porgs are everywhere. Porgs are everywhere. Now imagine porgs with like cute little accents that you haven't heard before that look like, I'm saying, blondes and
Pause.
brunettes, curvy in shape, sun on their skin every day. Because you know, in Brisbane and the Gold Coast, it's 30 degrees year round. So people are out there working out, looking good, getting on the beach, feminine women, getting their hair appointments regularly, weekly, getting their nails done, looking the part. So get a piece of that, brothers. Imagine that, you know, different, different energy, man. These are like easygoing, free spirited women who want to kind of, you know, do yoga and, like I say, go to the beach, play volleyball, just do fun, light-hearted things. It's a different culture entirely that people who haven't been there don't get.
Damn, it's funny when you say porgs. I normally say pogs. Is that how you say porgs? I say
Or
pogs.
whatever you call them, bro. Those fat ass white girls are there. Okay, they are there. I mean, I was dating one, and trust me, and some of her friends as well. I was like, damn. Some of my homies were here, man. I'm telling you, these gorgeous women, bro. Again, I've always like found like accents quite sexy. So, like I said, Natalie and Brulia, Kylie Minogue. I grew up having crushes on them. So when I was like, oh damn, Australians, that's the place where them girls, them hot girls with the funny accents live. So when I met mine, I was like, shh, I'm going for my shot here, bro. And then I got out there and I was like, damn, there's even more. They're everywhere, you know. But again, very chill, very open-minded, not as sort of bougie as attractive women in these other Western countries are. You do get some now. Places like Sydney, you will find there's a little bit of that, even on the Gold Coast. But by and large, they're very, very easygoing.
Fantastic, brother. So let me ask this right. Obviously, for me, in my opinion, the sweet spot of a woman is 18 to 23.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a perfect age for a woman. Is that age range out there in Australia of all racial groups of women checking for brothers? Because I personally, I only like young chicks. I like chicks from 18 to 23. That's the perfect sweet spot for women. You know, not too old, not too young, mature, um, smart, fertile, 22, 21. Are they checking for brothers, bro?
100%, 100%. Again, because of the lifestyle and the culture, it lends itself towards women settling down and finding partners younger. Not all of them, but it's there for sure. And again, they're always intrigued by what they don't see every day. I can't tell you, I would just be out ordering food and girls would just be picking up on my accent and stopping me and having conversations. And again, I had a woman, so I couldn't always, you know, act on this, fellas. I remember one time I was out just with my girl on a Friday night and we ordered some food at like what would be the equivalent of Nando's here. It's a place called Guzman and Gomez. You're welcome when you get out there, brothers, because that's a spot to eat at, great Mexican food. And I remember I was with my girl. I went to go sit at a table. She's picking up the food from the waitress, and the waitress is like, "You know that guy you're with? Where's he from?"
Oh,
And my girl comes back to me. She's like, "That girl was just asking about your accent, where you're from, basically trying to hit on you, even though you're with me." To my girl, she was not happy, but I was just like lapping it up, like, damn. And that happens a lot out there. So as I said, they are definitely checking. This girl was young too. Again, this is just like a waitress chick, you know, cute one that works at a restaurant. So that kind of answers that IP because there's a lot of that, and they don't see us every day. They don't hear us every day. So they're very enamored by that. And like you said, the younger I think they are, the more receptive they are and easygoing. So plenty of those. I mean, many beautiful young girls out there, um, in droves. You have to get out there and meet them. I met plenty, but again, as I said, I couldn't act on it because I had a partner already.
Oh, unlucky, bro. But let me ask this, right? Because I know you had a partner there, but are Australian women, are they open towards men having other girlfriends in the relationship, or are they like, no, that's not happening?
Mm,
You know.
yeah, to be honest, it's a good question. I didn't really see it too much. I do remember a friend of my girlfriend's friend. One time we were on the Gold Coast just hanging out for her birthday, and it was really this girl was really attractive. And I remember we were just all sitting down chatting, talking, and she was talking about how she was in an open relationship with a guy friend of hers and his wife. So there is definitely some open mindedness towards things like that out there. But she was probably the only example I could think of. But it wouldn't shock me again because they're very free spirited, spiritual, easygoing people, more than they are sort of organized religion. So I reckon it's more undercover, but there's certainly people that are in sort of open relationships, no doubt a bit more easygoing about their man having, second girlfriend, side pieces, etc. I think that it's definitely there.
Yeah, so I definitely, if I was to do that, I definitely want to have more than one girlfriend, but she cannot have another boyfriend. That's those are my terms. So I don't do that open relationship stuff. What I mean is, I can have five girlfriends, and they all belong to me, and they can't go out and get any other boyfriends. That's not how it works in my view of things.
Mm.
Because how do you feel about that, bro? Because there's no way I'm gonna let her go and dab with another guy, even though I have five girlfriends. Men and
Yeah,
women
me
are different.
personally, no. Sorry to cut you off. Me personally, no, I'm the same. I'm not having that at all. That's
Mm.
just a joke. That's just no way. No way I'm going to be dating a woman that's going to be doing things with other dudes. Like 100% not. However, to flip it, I think you would find it in some places tricky to find a woman who is as agreeable with it because it is still conceptually West. And as I said, they're very liberated and feminism is rising. So to just find like a standard dime out there who's just like okay with it, I think could be tricky. However, I would add on top of that, if you're in position where you've got your house in order and you're, let's say, wealthy to some extent or a resourceful man, I think it's possible because it goes back to what I said on the Turkish stream. The leverage will allow you the access. It'll be hard to have the access without the leverage because they're still pretty liberated out there.
Fantastic. Great answer, bro. Let me read a couple of super chats, brother. I've got 20 more minutes of questions for you. I'm going to open up the phone lines after, bro. Shout out to Mr. Russian Spy Sleazeball for the $2 super chat. Who cuts brother's hair in Aussie?
Good question, actually. Didn't even think about that. And that was one of the things I know. A couple of my homeboys were like, "Where are you going to get your hair cut and stuff?" Funny enough, brothers, I'm a pretty deft hand. I've got my own kit, and I've learned how to cut hair for years. So I did my own, man. But they do have barbershops out there, but they're always in very obscure parts. Like a couple of times I would go to the barber, I had to travel a little bit far. When I was living in Brisbane, I can't tell you about other states, but they're definitely come a long way. Like I said, Western culture has influenced so much of Australia. So they know how to cut, do fades and one level and all that. But me personally, I could always do my own. So I didn't actually ever like go to the barbershop too often, unless it was like an occasion. But they do have barbershops out there for sure that cater to black men. In Brisbane, there's an area called Maruka, which is great for us, places where you can go get a haircut, you can go buy cocoa butter, our type of food, all kind of like black condiments and like products. So when I discovered that area, that was like a godsend.
Well, was that black owned?
No, it
That
wasn't black
place?
owned. It was like like an area where there's going to be predominantly black products, black restaurants, food, etc. So that sort of home away from home place that you need when you're outside of your home country and you don't have your creature comforts.
Okay. The people that were selling you the products, were they black?
No, actually, some were. Sorry, some were, but some weren't. So there's a big concentration of Rwandan people,
Mm.
believe it or not, in Brisbane, and that's
Ooh.
one of the largest migrations of black folks that live there. Rwandans and Sudanese people. So they own a lot of the businesses in this area called Maruka. But then some of them are just owned by white folks there because cultural appropriation and all that good stuff. So that's definitely that's definitely a thing out there.
Thank you, bro. So let me ask this, brother, right? What, in your opinion, was the best is the best way for a black man to meet a dime Australian woman? Is it in the park? Is it through online dating? Is it in the clubs and the bars? Break it down for us, bro, in your opinion.
You know, it might be a bit of a mix of all, to be honest. I would say for sure, as far as being out there and being social, going to events, going to bars, it's very easy to meet women in those settings because they are just so easy going. Like I said, I was just having great social relationships with women. And a lot of times I was thinking, man, if I didn't have a girl, like I know I could have pressed the attack on that and that would have been something. And I found that that was the case. And so based upon that, I know when I would go out to bars and I made friends out there, or when I'd go to coffee shops or go out places to eat, it was so easy to just get into natural conversations and build connections with women. However, obviously dating apps are going to be effective anywhere. I had a couple of the dating apps prior to moving out there. So I had a little glance before me and my ex got serious, and there was all the talent you could imagine on there. So they use all the dating apps we use. But I think just going out is a great way in Australia to meet people because it's a very, very social place. So I don't think any brother who would put himself out there and have the confidence to go to events, go to bars, just look up places where he knows there's going to be a congregation of women would struggle at all in finding women in face to face, basically.
Awesome, bro. And that goes on to my follow-up question. So, how's the nightlife there out there in Australia, bro? The bars and clubs, is it very vibrant? In terms of the music they play, is it enjoyable? Can you meet women there that are respectable? Obviously not pros, etc., etc. How's nightlife there, brother, overall?
Nightlife is amazing out there. It's really good because it lends itself to being inclusive of everyone. What you will find in Australia is that you got a lot of the older crowd that go out as well because of the lifestyle. So you've got women who are in their 40s and they look good, by the way. Again, the weather, people take care of themselves. You got women that are in their 40s still going out and partying and enjoying jazz and salsa nights and things of that nature. So it's a very, very social place, and there's a demographic for everybody out there. So I would remember that when you were to travel out there, that it's very, very vibrant, very social, and there's something for everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. Awesome. Shout out to Mr. Alexis McCullough for the $5 super chat. How should you dress when you go up there? So should I dress up?
Yeah, I think so. Just like you would in any other conceptually Western country, dress smart, brothers. Shirt, collar, nice dress pants, pair of shoes, never goes amiss. That said, though, there's many events out there where you can sort of dress more casually, like t-shirt, jeans, trainers, but just kind of, use your discretion, and practice a bit of discernment depending on where you go. But it's a mixed bag. Some places it's a bit more casual, but as we all know, in most conceptually Western countries, if you're stepping out on a Saturday night, it's collar, dress pants and shoes. That's pretty much the go, right?
Yes, indeed. Thank you, bro. Australians, they're British, right? My Australians, the majority of them are English, right? By
Yeah.
by by nationality and ethnicity. Sorry.
Yeah, by descent. Yeah, if you know the history of Australia, and I'm a big researcher myself, penal colonies, the convicts that were taken there were the British people basically that couldn't behave. So a lot of them, and my ex-girlfriend included, are descendants of British convicts. So that's basically why there's white folks living there. So that's why they're culturally very, very similar to what basically we witness here in the UK IP. A lot of the white people here in the UK have very similar behaviors, lifestyles, etc., mannerisms as the Australians because they're basically just the same, but with better weather.
Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Russian Spy Sleazeball for the $5 super chat. Thank you, bro. He says, guest, why do Aussie women dress very feminine despite being Westerners? Also, have you been to Adelaide? So 2 questions for you, bro.
Why do they dress very feminine? It's a good question, bro. I guess maybe it's something to do with the lifestyle, brother. The weather's really nice out there, so they wear less clothes. It's not like here in the UK where I am now. It's warm all year round, so women are going to wear tank tops and, more revealing clothing, because you can show more skin. You don't want to be wearing more layers when it's like 30, 35 degrees all year. And it is out there. Brisbane gets hot. So that would be one of the reasons. And also, women work out. They're very, I guess, prideful about how they look out there. And it is still quite a, competitive country as far as trying to look good and take care of yourself. So that's certainly one of the reasons why women want to dress in a feminine way to kind of get the attention of men. To answer the second part of your question, no, Adelaide's also on my list. That's South Australia. So there's West and South I want to do when I go back. I've heard good things about Adelaide too. A little bit smaller than the other regions I mentioned that I went to, but I have heard some good things, and it's certainly worth a visit. So if I do go, hopefully I can jump back on the stream and do another one for you guys.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. Let me ask this, brother. I know you had a girl out there, but and obviously you probably didn't cold approach women because you were faithful. Did women cold approach you quite often in Australia?
Well, I mentioned the Iranian girl, right? So that was probably the one time that happened. But there were a few occasions I got tried for sure. I was like, wow, this is really testing my commitment. Yeah, they can be a little bit brazen out there, man. Like I said, when they get a hold of that accent, that British accent, that American accent, they like what they hear, man, and they like what they see. So expect to get, attention out there, especially if you come correct. You come like a gentleman. You've got a good job out there. You're doing well for yourself. You will get approached. You will stand out because they don't see or hear from us every day. So expect to get a bit of cold approach. One thing that works well for you as well, if you can build these connections, is I had Australian friends out there, so they knew a lot of the sort of spots to go to, and obviously while rolling with them, that was always a good look, because it'd be, oh, who's your foreign mate, and then I'm in with a group of people who like. Oh, hang on, who's this? So I'm the foreign friend of someone who's local. That's always a good look, brothers. So keep that in mind. Having a good Aussie friend is a good look as far as an inroad to meeting the ladies out there.
Fantastic. And brother, how were you meeting new friends out there in Australia? Were you going to maybe certain events to network with people? Was it for your girlfriend? How were you meeting new friends, bro, in Australia?
Yeah, mixed bag, really. Work was one of the key things. I worked in sort of marketing, and I was a brand ambassador. So that was like a really good job, because you were in different street teams all the time. And every time I would kind of meet someone who I kind of got along with, I'd stay in touch via social media. They might hook me up on another job, or they might be like, oh, we're going to do this. Do you want to come along? I know you're new to the area. So I was kind of using that to kind of segue into building friendships. But beyond that, what else did I use there? Yeah, Facebook groups as well for like events and things you're interested in. I'm a big football guy, so I'd go like attend, different events or play five-a-side with people, just putting myself out there really, and just indulging my interests so that I could find like-minded people who had the same interests, just the way you would with anything, brothers. So be prepared for the fact that because it's such a big place, and you're definitely the car to get around, you will have to make more of an effort to kind of nurture relationships, because people, I found, were very set in their ways as far as, well, I know who my friends are. This is my clique. This is my group. So you have to push a little bit more to try and, oh, where are you going? Oh, can I come along? Put yourself out there a little bit more, because they won't come find you necessarily unless you've made an impression on them. So yeah, the Facebook groups are a great way to meet people. There's all these different types of groups. They've even got them for like single people now in places like Brisbane. Like there's all these different ways of, I guess, of connecting with people online before you even meet them in person. But work, obviously, for me was a good way to meet people too. But I'm a pretty open guy, and I'm quite a social person. So if I was just in a shopping center and someone caught my eye, or someone I was just chatting to, I might even be like, oh, hey, what's your social media, or what's your number? We should stay in touch. I like your vibe, or whatever. The gym, no doubt. I met a lot of good friends at my gym as well. So yeah, these are all different avenues for you to be able to meet people.
The women in the Australian gyms, were they hot?
bro. Like, wow. Even thinking about it now. Again, I had a girlfriend, but man, that's probably my favorite place to go. Really, was the gym. Like, I mean, I like to work out, but dimes galore, man. That's probably the best way. In fact, running it back now, that would be the best way to meet women for sure, because you're doing something that's obviously showing you've got a level of discipline, a level of self-love for yourself, that you're actually going to exercise and take care of yourself, but you know they have as well, and they look good. So how could it go wrong? What better place to meet the type of woman you want to meet? Especially as a foreigner, you can roll up in there, like, you're working out, you're on a machine, start chatting to her. I mean, that happened. That just reminds me now. This she was either Romanian or Hungarian. I remember I was just on a machine and some like MILF Romanian woman walked up to me, tried to use the leg press after me, let her use it. We started, into switching our sets. Afterwards, I go to the sauna. She's in the sauna. We're chatting. She's like, "Oh, I'm always looking for a tennis partner." I'm like, "Oh, here we go. That's the move, is it?" Yeah, I swear to you, God is my witness. I'm like, so that's the. And again, I had a girl, so I was like, "Damn, girl's gonna tell me she's looking for a tennis partner." I'm like, I know where that's leading to, but this is what I mean. All from just like letting her use the leg press in between me using it, then catching her in the sauna afterwards, and she was on point. Like, and I'm thinking, damn, some next Romanian, Hungarian MILF. Just like, was like, yeah, you should let me know, because I'm always looking for a tennis partner to play tennis with. And I'm like, I know it ain't gonna be tennis. I know it ain't gonna be tennis we're playing. I know that already. But this is what I mean. She was just very like chill and blasé about it. But I'm like, I don't really think she wanted to play tennis. I think she was shooting her shot at me.
Damn. So let me ask this, brother. N-word use. Did you hear it out there at all in Australia?
None. Like I say, extremely respectful. Of course, they're privy to it, but you won't hear it used in like wider society and stuff like that. Not unless someone was just kind of referencing it from like a hip hop song. But even then, I don't even think I ever heard that. This is a very different culture to other Western countries. They don't play that at all. They're just like they're not that way. Not from what I've seen anyway.
Fantastic, bro. Is hip hop and rap big out there?
It is, yeah, it is. There's hip hop clubs on the radio when you're driving. They have a lot of hip hop on the stations. They're very up to date with the music that we hear in our circulation on our radios and internet and everything. So it's certainly played. Obviously, pop, country, all the other genres are big too, but hip hop is big out there.
Fantastic, bro. Let me ask this, brother, right? Because obviously, throughout the years of my channel, some brothers are really pressed about heights. They feel that they're too short enough to get women. In Australia, have you got to be some 6'5" dude, to get women out there, or is height irrelevant, or does it matter in some cases? Or is there a certain cut-off point, in your opinion, brother? And keep it real with us, bro, because we know it's a Western country. We know in America, UK, women really obsess over height. What's your thoughts about Australian women and height, bro?
It's a good question. I know this is a thing. I was thinking about this recently. I know this is a thing that comes out for a lot of brothers who are like, "Oh, I'm 5'6", I'm 5'7", I'm 5'8". Women say this. To be honest, I'm not best placed to answer because I never heard or overheard conversations about it. Yes, I know this is definitely like a rhetoric that is perpetuated in the West. But my advice would be this, and I said this on the Turkish stream, and I know this might sound generic at this point, but it's the truth. If you have your house in order and you are a confident enough man, that isn't even going to matter, because ultimately, I think your level of confidence, your level of resources, your level of self-worth and self-confidence will shine over any, uh, vertical challenge you have. I never heard anyone say, "Oh, no, I only date guys who are 6 foot." I'm sure it exists, fellas. I'm not going to sit here and, lie to you. I'm sure it exists, but it wasn't something I heard as a mainstream narrative while I was there. The average woman in general is probably what, like 5'5" or something. So really, like, I don't think you're going to have an issue if you're like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", with that. They might be a little bit of a heightist, if you want to call them that, but it wasn't something I overheard a lot, for sure.
Fantastic, bro. Awesome. Let me ask this, brother. Actually, I've lost a train of thought there. Hold on, bro. Shout out to Mr. H for the $199 super chat. He says, which city slash state do you recommend the most for brothers to go to for women? Number one city, brother, in your opinion.
It's a tough one, man. There's so many. Um, depends what you're after. I gave you guys a bit of a breakdown of what is where. So if you want to run that back and then think about what you like. So I'll go over it one more time. If you like more Middle Eastern women, you should probably go to Sydney, or Melbourne. If you like Mediterranean, Greek, Italian, Turkish women, definitely Melbourne. If you like Brazilian women, sort of European Brazilian women, curvy, more Portuguese, Spanish, German, Italian women, you should definitely go to Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Just out and out white Australian women, you could go to any state. Don't matter if it was the Gold Coast, don't matter if it was Sydney, don't matter if it was the Sunshine Coast. But for me personally, from what I witnessed, I think Brisbane or the Gold Coast are the best places, personally. I think they're the untapped potential. I mean, I had a girlfriend there, and like I said earlier on the stream, she had friends, attractive friends, who were definitely, as IP always loves to ask, checking for brothers. And they were brazen about it. They were like, so have you got black friends? Like, that's how it is. Because they don't see black men every day. So they're thinking, well, she's got one. Does he have friends? And that was a question I got asked. So that was within Brisbane and the Gold Coast. So if that's any indication, Brisbane and the Gold Coast, which are in the state of Queensland, would be worth traveling. I know everyone's heard about Sydney and Melbourne, but you'll get more of our people there, but you don't see too many of our people in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. And I said this with Turkey, right? When I was in Antalya, I said, everyone goes to Istanbul. Start going to the places where you don't see people every day, brothers, because that's where you're going to get the most joy. Go to the untapped potential. Be the first one or one of the first ones to plant your flag, because then you're going to bear the fruit.
Yes, great answer there, brother. Fantastic. So let me ask this, brother. Countryside of Australia, think that are not the big cities. How is that for black men? If you've heard anything, if you don't know, that's okay, bro. Like places that are not the main cities, like Gold Coast, Melbourne, countryside regions. How's that for black men? Would you say we should avoid those kind of places? It could be not as progressive or racist as you
Not
know.
at all. I traveled to a lot of the more rural areas. I went to places like Yamba. I used to make a joke about that with my ex-partner. I was like, I'm probably the only black guy that's ever visited. I didn't see anyone out there. I mean, in Australia, I could go weeks without seeing a black person. And you're hyper aware of it, but it's never been a problem where, oh my God, there's so many eyeballs on me. It's not a thing. I had that a little bit in Turkey, but not in Australia. Australia is different, man. Like even there in those areas, they're just like, hey, how you going? Like they'll just come up to you and just be chill. They're friendly people, man. Like I went to so many like little rural towns that I know for a fact none, if any, black people passed through, but it was never an issue. It was just like, oh, I'm probably the first black person to come here, but never experienced even a whiff of racism. It was just open-mindedness,
Wow, Yamba. Okay, incredible, bro. And how are the women out there in Yamba?
Yeah,
Beautiful as
Yamba in
well.
those areas. So the funny thing about some of those areas is like Yamba, for example, right, which is in New South Wales, which is where Sydney and those areas are. It's like a sort of more of an older generation area, so you won't see too many young people there. But that said, it's super cool if you like places that are a bit more reserved, quiet beaches, somewhere you can go and you can just sort of chill out more. That's a great place to go. And I only went up there because my ex-girlfriend, her godmother had a house there. So we would just go there once in a while for like a little vacation for a few days, just live in that crib. And it was just wicked. We were just a nice little escape from Brisbane. So places like that, it's like a 2-hour drive, nice to go, sightsee, very chilled, small community. Those type of places are fantastic. And you'll find plenty of them in Oz, especially in Queensland.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. You've answered my questions to the best of your ability. I'm super happy, brother. Super thankful as well. So I'm going to open up the phone line, brother. Brother, this has been a great stream so far. Great intel, brother. Thank you very much. So Brothers, when you call in, please be respectful to our guests, or else you will be disciplined. Call in and speak about Australia. Keep you on the live stream topic. Ask the questions you want to ask. If you can't call in, please cash up and super chat your questions. That'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you hit the cash up and super chats too to support the channel and movement. That'd be greatly appreciated, brothers. Here's a link to my Patreon, brothers. If you want to hear X-rated and explicit intel on foreign women all around the world, we've covered Asia, Europe, Africa on the Patreon. Join the Patreon if you want one-to-one IT consultations or any other benefits, such as the Discord server, Facebook group. Join the Patreon diamond tier, okay? Also, brothers, here is a link to my Twitter. If you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, send me a DM on Twitter. If you want to speak to me about any countries on this channel, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Likewise, for my Instagram as well, here's a link to it, brothers. You can reach out to me on IG, follow me on IG too. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Here's a link to the Cash App. Cash App is open 24/7, so please send through your donations to the Cash Apps. That'd be greatly appreciated, brothers, okay? And of course, here's a link to the Facebook group. To get into the Facebook group and Discord server, you must be a part of the Patreon Diamond tier. I will vet you to make sure that you're a brother, and then I will accept you, okay? Fantastic, brothers, fantastic. Again, only brothers can get in the Facebook group and Discord, okay? Brothers meaning black men, all right? Straight black men. So those are the brothers that we want in the Discord group and the Facebook group. If you're not a brother, I'm sorry. This is a brothers only movement, okay? That's how it is on this channel. So here's a link to the call-in. I think our guest has dropped off. If you're a troll, don't call in because this isn't the time for it, okay? So where's our guest? What's happened? Let me message him. Crazy past couple of weeks. Classics upon classics, man. Again, I always come through for you brothers. I will never let you brothers down, man. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you cash up. Make sure you super chat. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, brothers, please support this movement and the channel. Okay. What's going on? Where's our guest? Where's our guest? Sorry, brothers. I think our guest's having some technical issues. I will drop the link in a minute. So how's the stream so far? Are you enjoying the live stream so far? Press a 1 in the chat if you're enjoying the live stream so far. It seems like Australia is a great place for brothers. If you want to meet Iranian chicks, Lebanese chicks, you can find them in Australia too. Even Brazilian chicks. It's crazy, man. Where's our guest? This garbage laptop. Where you at, bro? Come on, man. Where's our guest? He might be experiencing some technical issues. Don't worry, that I will post the interview on the channel as soon as. Okay, I think our guest is back. Fantastic. Let me put the call-in link. Let me bring him in. You right, Johnny?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Back.
I've got disconnected. No worries, I'm back.
We know you're on that AOL plan, so we forgive you, bro.
My Chrome, for some reason, shut down. But I'm back, brothers.
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. Brother, you dropped some gems here, and I've still got a couple more questions, but I want to let our guests contribute as well. So guests call in. If no one calls in, I'm going to end the stream early. I hate making things longer than it actually should be. I'm all about quality over quantity. So I'm giving you brothers 10 minutes to call in, 5-10 minutes. If no one calls in, I'm going to end the stream, okay? So while we wait for a caller, Johnny, I've got a question. Religion-wise, what do they believe in the woman there? Is it a mostly atheist society, or is it Christian, Catholic, or even Muslim?
It's mostly spiritual, is what I found. That there's not too much organized religion because they don't grow up with it in their school system or in their culture or family environments. There's a lot of spiritual people in Australia because there's all these little towns you find where, and women are very, you'll find this, brothers, they're very into the sort of the yoga, the meditation, the crystals, putting them out under the moon and the Mercury's in retrograde. Let's get our stones out under the moon. That's a big thing. You'll see a lot of spiritual women in Australia because the land, if you know your history, the land is considered very sacred by the elders and the original people. So it's a very spiritual place more than it is organized religion.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. Thank you. So I got a caller. Chalo Tamaz, can you turn your camera off? Let me bring in Mr. Chalo Tamaz. What's going on, bro?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Long day.
Awesome, bro. Do you have a question for our brother regarding an Australian woman?
Yes, sir. About Australia, would you say it's like pretty much worth it for a person living around the Florida coast, how we're more used to the, South America, Caribbean, all that sort of stuff. If we do want to travel to, Europe countries, would you advise Australia to be a start?
If you're interested in, was that South American women, brother?
Well, kind of like yes, but if we want to travel overseas to the other side of the world, would you recommend Australia to be like a start?
I would, yeah, because
Mhm.
I said on my previous stream, it's not just about the women in terms of what I do as a men's transformational coach as well. It's about the experience. The women are a part of that. The purpose is number one. I always say that, but it's about growing as a man, developing yourself, learning new skills, developing different social relationships, building with other people, planting your flag in other continents. How many brothers do you know that have been to Australia, if I can ask you?
Not too many
Exactly.
as
So
far as
how about
popularity.
exactly? How about being one of the first ones, and now you can go back to your community of friends and tell them about that experience. Now you've got something on them that no one else has. Now you can pour into them something no one else can. I just did it tonight when I was out for one of my brother's birthdays, right? And it's like it gives you a different vantage point, a different view on the world to other people. I can come back to London, and none of my friends have seen Australia. They've never seen trees like what I've seen, women like what I've seen, experienced things like I've seen. So that has evolved me as a human being. And now when I go into my next experience, right, I might go to Greece in a few weeks. I can take that with me. These are things that don't leave you. So absolutely it's worth it for that. On top of all the things I've hopefully mentioned in the stream, this process, this passport movement is about it's developing yourself as a human being and as a man. But obviously women and all these other things are a part of it too, getting a good job, good opportunities, IT, whatever. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. That is 100% worth it because you want to be able to, while you're breathing, plant your flag in as many different places as possible.
Yeah, that's 100% excellent question. Like answered all mindsets and answered all doubts that I pretty much had when it comes to trying to travel again, especially after the COVID stuff. So there's so many restrictions and that sort of thing.
Where do you live, brother? Was it Florida, you said?
Yeah, right now I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm still with the parents and stuff because I'm almost finished with the air conditioning certificate, the second program, commercial industrial. So I'm about to be finished this fall. So that's when the travel thing came to mind because I'm there in the trade schools and the ITs, all the brothers, they all travel. So they're giving guys good advices, recommendations. So that's where that inspiration kind of came from.
Fantastic. And how old are you, brother?
Right now I'm 24.
You're a young man. You've got plenty of
Yes,
time.
yes, sir.
Years for you, man. I mean, again, I'm 34. I wish I'd have known what I knew about travel when I was your age, but allow me to pour into you and let you know that these
Yes, sir.
years are for you to kind of get out there and explore and do these things because Orlando's not going nowhere, and neither are your people, but you are, you know, and that's the
Yeah.
key. You're going places, IP's going places, I'm going places. So use this channel as a resource so that you can get out there and see these things. And take my word for it. I'm not gassing you up. I'm giving you truth here. IP knows that. He wouldn't have me on the channel otherwise. I'm here to give you the honest breakdown of these places. Australia is 100% worth it. You'll go and you'll experience something that you'll be able to carry with you for the rest of your life. So absolutely, when the time's right, when the resources are there, when the you know, the timeline and everything else stacks up, go experience it. Go get a piece of the action.
Yes, sir. And so I have one more last question. So in terms of meeting the right type of woman, so for me, my perspective, you know, I grew up in church, Bible, of course, Christian and all that. Will that have anything against me communication with the woman if she ever asks, hey, what is your spiritual beliefs, that sort of thing? Because I know eventually it might come through that after spending like deep conversations, and if the connection is right, will that block anything, or will she go along with it? Or yeah.
No, it won't be an issue because, like I said, it's an extremely open-minded country. Sorry, there is a subsection of Christianity out there, and they have Hillsong and things like that. I grew up in the church too here in the UK, Christian family, Christian background. Although I don't really subscribe to organized religion as such anymore, but I certainly saw there were, you know, Christian denominations out there. But you'll never find a woman will use that as an obstacle to dating you in that country. As I said, they're more spiritually inclined. So with that in mind, they're extremely balanced and open-minded towards different religious backgrounds. So it will definitely not harm any of your chances towards the dating marketplace.
I see.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your questions, Charlotte Mars.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's 4 a.m. over here, and I'm very conscious of the brother's time. I know he has a lot of work to do. So, brother, I can end the stream early. I think we have enough information, given enough information. And I know that you've been busy back since you've been in the UK, and I'm trying to be respectful here. So, bro, what do you want to do, bro?
Yeah, we can go for a little bit longer. If anyone else has got any questions, I'm happy to do questions, brothers, because I think if you guys have got questions, it kind of gives me a little bit more to kind of give you, because I haven't been there for like almost a year now, so it's not going to be super fresh in my head. But if people ask me things, then hopefully it kind of comes back to me. So brothers, please call in. I'm an open book. No question is, like I said on the last stream, no question is a stupid question. I'm here to pour in, so you can ask me anything and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. I'm happy to do that for a little bit longer if anyone does have any questions, of course.
Okay, all right, brothers. Make sure you call in, brothers. Please. He's obviously very busy in the UK, so brothers, please call in to ask questions. If you can't call in, please cash up and super chat your questions. So in the meantime, I see Millie McMills. Can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll, please? Awesome. That's brother Millie. Let me bring in Millie. What's going on, Millie? How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This live has been awesome, man. I have some questions.
Of course. Fire away, Millie.
Okay. My first question is I've been talking to this girl from Sydney for like 2 years now, and I was in a relationship with this girl from Toronto. So, but she was like very understanding, and she was telling me that if I do visit, that I can stay with her. So I was just gonna see, would you recommend any like nightclubs or anything? And what did you think of Sydney when you were there?
Oh, Sydney was dope, man. That's the place I'm thinking of going back to like live for a bit if I go back, because I only went there for like a few days, but I had a great time out there. Really nice bars and restaurants. Very very happening social scene out there. I mean, it's the one we hear about a lot, brother, here in the UK. And I had a friend from the UK who's actually now living out there with his wife. But yeah, I would recommend, from what I've seen, Sydney would be a good, safe place to go for a brother, because it's a bit more multicultural and diverse than where I was living in Queensland. So you will see African American brothers there. You will see people from the UK and other parts of the Western world living in Sydney. So you'll definitely have a great experience there, and I'm sure, no doubt, get a lot of joy in Sydney from what I saw.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. Any more questions, Millie?
No. Was that your Instagram that you posted in the chat? Is that your Instagram?
Yeah, you can hit me on that, bro. That's my gram.
Okay, cool. All right, for sure.
Any more questions, Millie?
No, that was my last question.
Oh, I thought you said you had a few.
Yeah, the two was well, when he answered that one question, he kind of answered my other question as well. And then I was gonna ask him for his Instagram, but it was posted in there.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Millie. Thank you, bro. If you have any more questions, let me know, and then I can definitely come to you. All right. So, brothers, the calling link is in the live stream chat. Don't be shy. The brother Johnny is here to answer your questions. It's 4:08 a.m. over here in the UK. So we're very conscious of his time, and we want to thank him for taking the time out in such early hours of the morning, to give you brothers this intel. Okay. So call in, brothers, man. Come on, brothers, call in. And we've got over 70 people watching. There's got to be a few brothers that have questions that want to contribute to the discussions. That's very important, man. Okay. So we wait for a caller. Cello Tomas, do you have any more questions, bro?
So I think I probably had this one last question that's pretty much been on my mind, per se.
Okay.
So are the women out there, do they have good relationships with their family? Like, none of that, like, westernized, like, daddy issues sort of thing, or you see one with like tattoos and all that, going through like crazy sort of shit. So do they have a good relationships with their parents and their, my bad. So do they have good relationships with their families, like family oriented, like, that sort of thing?
Oh, good question. It's a mixed bag, brother, to be honest with you. There's definitely girls out there I met who have daddy issues. Definitely girls out there who have tattoos. That's a big thing, because obviously women show a lot more skin out there. So you see places where they've got tattoos. It's a big culture in Australia of women, I noticed, getting tattoos on their legs, probably because people wear shorts a lot and stuff and they show more skin. So that's a thing as far as the tattoo question. Family oriented, yeah, there's obviously people out there I met who are very family oriented. Dads are in their lives, more standard traditional viewpoint towards the man and family and things of that nature. But it's mixed, just like any other conceptually Western country. There isn't more one thing than anything. It's very diverse, I would say.
I respect that.
They've got tattoos out there, bro.
Very much so.
So the average chick has tattoos.
Yes, the average does. You will see a lot of that when you walk the high street. I mean, if you're not into, I don't think you are IP. I think you said on my Turkish stream, but it's a big thing because they show a lot of skin, so you see it. A lot of girls have tattoos on the arms, but this leg thing. I remember saying to my ex-girlfriend, I'm like, "What is all this leg tattoo thing I keep seeing in Brisbane?" I just be in Brisbane, in the city, and I just see so many girls just tattoos all over their legs. It don't look good, and these are attractive women as well. And I'm just like, why would you do that? So that culture is full of that.
Oh, is that across all races of women, even Lebanese,
No,
Iranian, Asian chicks?
Mainly white women. Yeah, the more ethnic women, you won't see it with like the Lebanese, the Iranian, Syrian women. Maybe not even with the Italians and Greeks, but the out and out white Australian woman, the average Australian woman I would see has some kind of tattoo. Not always on her leg or arm, but generally tattoo culture is very, very big out there. That's something worth knowing.
I hate seeing tattoo sleeves on women, and especially on the arms and legs, man. Those long tattoos. That's a pass for me, man. Why do women do that?
It becomes very pop culture, though, hasn't it? That's the thing. Is when something becomes part of pop culture, people want to jump on it because that's obviously a thing. And we know with the conceptual West, a lot of women, are inflatable, for lack of a better term, and you'll get a lot of that there too. Like they're into the surgeries and the Botoxes and all of that stuff because they model themselves off American women, which is unfortunate for a lot of you brothers that are calling from America and watching. I know you guys are sick and tired of American women, but they are trying to be more like American women in a lot of senses, unfortunately. But they're not, obviously. They're just trying to, like, you know, get their lips and their boobs and everything else done. But yeah, the tattoo culture and some of that more vapid, vain, you know, stuff is kind of there.
Oh wow. Interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, I hate tattoos on the chick. Even just one tat just puts me off, man. You know.
It's there. It's there. 100%. I mean, not everyone, but if you went to like the beach in Australia, you would expect to see women with tattoos for sure. You'll see beautiful, slim women though who have got unblemished skin and everything, but there's definitely a lot of women who have tattoos.
Interesting. Hold on, brothers. I'm hearing background noise. So Millie and Cello, put yourself on mute unless you want to speak. Shout out to Riviera Group for the $2 super chat. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much love to you. Much appreciation for the support. It means a lot to me, man. Thank you, bro. Yeah, so brother, okay, so brother, apart from that, what other what's it called? Attributes that are bad about Australian women that we should know, bro, in your opinion?
Bad attributes, did you say, IP?
Yeah, bad attributes. So tattoos are one. Any more bad things about them, bro?
Trying to think now. They can be quite abrasive. I'll say that much. Yeah. I mean, again, we all know women are liberated, like so much so in the West now, but they can be quite abrasive because their culture is like one of like, you know, big sort of partying and drinking and everything like that. So you could expect an Australian woman to get up in your grill a little bit. that's a thing for sure. Yeah, they're quite, you know, like for attractive women, they can be quite full on, you know, some of them. They're not, I wouldn't necessarily call them all the most classy and respectful women I've met. They're good looking, but they're not always the most elegant and ladylike. They could be a bit abrasive at times.
Thanks for the honesty, bro. I mean, that's the truth right there. You know, I personally, I feel like they're women that are good for fun.
Yeah,
you know, just
that's the
just
truth.
for
That's what I would say. Honestly, that would be my overall assessment. If I was to go back there, I know what I'm going back there for. I'm not going back there for anything serious. And I'm just keeping it 100. You guys, like, it depends where you go and what you're looking for, but by and large, I wouldn't be going back there for nothing too serious because I know the culture now. I lived there long enough, and I know where I would be going and what I would be looking for. So yeah.
what about the Iranian Lebanese chicks, Middle Eastern chicks, bro? Would you say that obviously I know they're different culturally, but they can still they still have that Australian Western influence in them? So again, you would actually put them into the not so serious category in terms of wifeable and long-term relationships for like 5 years, 10 years, in your opinion, bro?
Yes, spot on. That's exactly where I'd be looking if I was looking for something more serious. I'd be looking towards the more ethnic women of Australia. I wouldn't be looking towards the white women because, like I said, feminism has seeped its poison into their veins out there, and it infected my last woman as well. Unfortunately, it's one of the reasons I'm not with her no more. I was like, I ain't dealing with this. I didn't come all this way for this. They get that in the UK, and I'm not dealing with it here neither. So, yeah. If I was looking for a wife out there, I would definitely be looking towards the ethnic women, not the traditional white Australian women, because they're loosey goose, they're fun, they're good time girls. But when push comes to shove, you don't want that long term. So have your fun, you know, plant your flag. But when you want something more serious, look at those women I mentioned, those Iranian, those Syrian, those Lebanese women, because they're gorgeous, but they're feminine. And that's what we're after here. So keep that in mind, brothers, when you go out there and you have your fun.
And on average, do they have a lower body count? And could we,
Yeah, 100%.
could we also find virgins as well in that group?
Yeah, they're not just letting anyone up in the dance. Those are the women that you're gonna have to really try for, make an effort, have your credentials in check, you know, have your resources together, have your house in order, as I like to say, because they're not gonna they're not going to suffer fools. Those women know their worth. So you have to come correct with them. They're not like the other just regular Australian women who are just going to roll over because you're American or you're from the UK. Like, I'm just keeping it real with you. That bro. I mean, there were situations where I was like, damn, if I didn't have a girl, I wouldn't even have to really try with you. So, I mean, again, what is that? I mean, it's fun, but what is that really worth in the grand scheme of things if you're looking for something serious? So, and you will find it by and large with them. I would also come after that and say it's probably a good chance you could build with a good Brazilian woman as well. A Brazilian woman, sorry, because they are very family orientated. A couple of my partners out there have Brazilian wives, kids now, and those women are very dutiful, very family orientated. So that's a community you can look at as well. But out and out white Australian women, you would need to be, in my opinion, mindful of that.
Thank you, bro. What about the STI, STD rates out there in Australia? Is that something to be aware of? You know, what is it high there amongst the women? Is it low? You know, in general, bro.
There's no telling for sure, IP. I'm not like an expert on or anything on that. But if I had to harbor a guess, because of everything I've mentioned and how free and loose the culture is, it's something to be aware of. Always said it on the streams I've done. Obviously, brothers, be safe. Whoever you're getting involved with, protect yourself. But out there, I would say be doubly aware, just because it's a very loose culture. People are very sexually liberated. People will, especially women, they will sleep around out there, and they won't have the same sort of shame or stigma as they might get elsewhere. So my guess is it's probably on average as high as any other Western country.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And what's the ratio of women to men out there? Is it more women than men? Is it 50-50 or more men than women, bro?
Good question. I don't know. Well, maybe there's more women. Maybe there's more. So Australia, if I'm not mistaken, is about 23, 24 million. Not a lot, brothers. Huge country, landmass wise, but population wise, 24 million is not a lot. So, I mean, again, if we were to just go down the middle, that would be what, 12 million women. It's a lot of women, right? In a relatively huge country, landmass wise, but small population wise. So, yeah, I'd say in Queensland, where I was living, on average, it looks like when you're just out and about, there's more women on the streets and whatnot.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. So should brothers travel alone or in a group to Australia, in your opinion, brother?
Good question. I guess technically, you would say I traveled alone. See, I moved out there to be with my ex-girlfriend, but on numerous occasions, I invited my partners to come out there. I think you could have a great time out there alone because there's so much to see and do. But equally, you know, maybe a small group would be nice too. 2 or 3 brothers that you really like, get along with, that you trust, that you can travel with, and who have your back, you have theirs, that you can have a good time with, would probably be nice as well. Because, you know, I've mentioned earlier that you're going to get a bit of attention for being, you know, a brother out there. If you were 2 of your partners, you're definitely going to get more attention. That's just definitely going to happen. It's just the way it is. You know, what's better than one? Do you know what I mean? Attractive black man that's got his house in order. 3.
Yep. So let me ask this now, brother. Any dangers to be aware of in general in Australia in terms of crime, in terms of bugs and snakes and all that crazy stuff that we see on the films?
People always ask me that. It depends. If you're in the rural parts, of course, but I was in sort of mainstream white Australia, you know, built up cities. So there wasn't really too many like creatures and things of that nature. Crime is relatively low, which is obviously good because we want to be practicing safety when we travel. In the rural areas, expect to see bats at night. You may see snakes. You definitely see some big spiders. That's not fun.
Oh.
Yeah. This is no real rap. You're gonna get some of that. But
you see snakes.
bro.
You saw a snake, bro.
I didn't see it all, man.
You saw, where was that? What city was that? You saw a
So
snake.
when I first got to Australia, I was living in like a little suburb on the outskirts of Brisbane. So that was more like sort of land and, you know, nature and whatnot. So at night I would hear bats just wailing. It was like really loud and almost a little bit disorientating. And then, you know, every now and then if you was out like in the garden, like I was living in like a bushy sort of area, I'd be out just washing my clothes, putting them on the line. I'd seen 1 or 2 snakes, man. Like it was a bit jarring, I'm not gonna lie.
Did you run? Did you run quickly, bro?
Bro,
I hope
I'm
you
not gonna
did.
say snake, bro. I grew up in the UK. We're not used to seeing snakes. I'm just like, no, I'm not dealing with that. Just forget my clothes. I'm going back inside.
Damn.
Yeah. So you do get them. You do get them, but they're more in the rural parts. If you're in the bigger cities, in Sydney and Melbourne and, you know, mainstream sort of Brisbane, you're not going to see snakes and things. It's just like any other conceptual West place. They've modeled it and built it to look like you're in a London or a New York or a Los Angeles. It looks like those places, right? So you're not going to just see them out and about on the street like I know people think that haven't been there.
What did you see? Did you see any kangaroos there, Brian? And did they try to fight you as well? The kangaroos.
I did see kangaroos. They didn't try to fight me, but you have to go to the sanctuaries to see those. So when I got out there for my first month, and I just wanted to sort of travel, and I didn't know much, right? I went to a sanctuary, and you know, you sit with them, take photos, and that's all really cool. Then you also, you know, held a koala. It was really cool seeing alligators, all the wilder animals that you don't see just out and about every day. I will say though, that area I mentioned I was living in where I saw snakes, there was this huge park there that I used to go like run around just for fitness. And in that park, because there was like a sort of a nature part of it, every now and then I would see koalas there, which was incredible. So yeah, you do see some pretty special things out there.
Did you hear any horror stories that people being killed by animals out there in Australia by the
No.
What? Okay.
No, that wasn't a thing. That's it's really not like that at all, to be honest. Unless it's like in those really like rural parts, which I didn't visit. But for the most part, you know, there's places like that you just know to never go because obviously there'll be danger signs about what animals might be lurking and things of that nature. But for the most part, no, I didn't hear anything like that.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Social. To answer this question, I'm assuming social media would be a problem there as well, bro. Like it is in the West, or is it different out there in Australia?
No, it's exactly the same. They use it prominently for everything, just like we do here. Every woman you'll meet is definitely going to be on social media out there. It's very rare for somebody you meet out there to not be on social media. They're just as tapped into sort of, especially the women, influencer culture and all that good stuff, or bad stuff rather, as women in America and the UK, for sure.
Damn, awesome. Cello Tamaz, Millie McMills, do you have any more questions for our guest?
Yes, one more question. I know you're ready to go to sleep, IP, but one more question. Could you tell us a story where you started to realize when you were there, where you're like, dang, I'm that guy? When you're realizing like all the females are looking at you, like one in particular, you're like, God damn, this is crazy. I wish my friends were here with me.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier on the stream, brother, but I was out getting dinner with my girl at the time, one time, and like I said, I went to go sit down, and she was there collecting the food, and the girl that was serving us was trying to shoot her shot. She was like, that guy you're with, where's he from? And my girl was startled and obviously upset, and she came back and told me about it. That was one such occasion, but there were numerous others, man. I mean, anytime a woman pulled me up about my accent, I knew what she was insinuating, and so that was obviously the cue to like be like, well, okay, if I have a girl, that would be my inroad. But that is a very, very common thing there because, as I said earlier, they're very intrigued by what they don't see and hear every day. And at this point, I would have been living there for 4 years, but it still was a thing because I'm foreign. No matter how many years I spent there, I'm still going to sound like this, right? So to them, that's still going to be intriguing. But yeah, those are the moments, brother, where I was like, okay, yeah, I might have a shot here at, you know, being able to do some damage if I wanted to, because I know I'm not widely seen every day in this country, or you know, there's not too many brothers, as I said earlier, that come and travel to these places. So many moments I had like that where I was like, man, this would be great if more guys come out here, or if groups came together and just got a piece of it, because it's not so common, and people don't realize how many people live there. Like I said, it's 23 million is not a huge amount, but when you spread that across all these states, there's some of these places that, like, I don't think brothers have ever been to before. So you can imagine like what it would look like for a black man to go to Tasmania or Adelaide, like one of the brothers asked me about earlier. You'd be going into like a gold mine, you know, that had never been touched before.
Damn. So let me ask this, brother. Out of all the races of women out there in Australia, in your opinion, what were the best looking race of women in Australia, bro?
I mean, that's going to be subjective, of course, depending on what you like, right? I mean, I like a bit of everything, to be honest with you. But when I think back now, the Brazilian women were probably the women I found the most attractive from the physical standpoint out there. Yeah, I would say so. They're gorgeous out there. Like, I've never seen. We don't really have them. You'll know this, IP. There's not too many like Brazilian people I've met in the UK, certainly, but these were like dimes. Like, I'm talking body, face, everything, and there's so many of them. I was pretty wowed. I was like, wow, okay, this isn't something I've seen every day in the UK at all. I think I probably, before I moved to Australia, I might have met one Brazilian person in my life. So to see that many gorgeous women in big numbers, groups of friends out there, friendly, you know, always happy, jovial people, that was impressive to me. And I would say, yeah, they're the most attractive I saw out there.
Damn. And do you know what cities they were coming from in Brazil to Australia? Was it Sao Paulo? Was it Rio?
Yeah, various. I mean, Brazil's like 200 million, man. It's a massive country. One of my best friends, he's from there. He was from Brasilia. There were girls from Brasilia, a lot of girls from Sao Paulo. Rio was a big one. Belo Horizonte was another one. Those are probably the main ones. Yeah, because Sao Paulo is where a lot of the European Brazilians come from. So that's probably the most you'll see out there, Sao Paulo.
Damn. So, brother, do you see yourself retiring in Australia?
Yeah, that's my long-term plan. You got my blueprint. I think once I've kind of done the most of my European tour and just try to clean up on this money, man, just stay sort of Europe-wise, and maybe go over to the States for a little bit too. Australia is like my long-term plan to move to. Long-term, though. I'm not saying I'm going to go there maybe not even next year, but the Sunshine Coast, that's got a special place in my heart. I'd like to settle up there long-term, I think, and just chill, post up, and just buy some property there and relax.
Damn. Awesome, bro. Calisthenic arts, do you mind calling in, bro? Because it seems like you have a lot of intel on Australia. We want to also hear your thoughts. He says, I mainly stick with white women and Asian there. Interesting. You want to call in, brother, and speak on that and give intel for the brothers, and and chime in this discussion with Johnny? That'd be great, bro. Chelo Tomas, do you have any more questions for our guest?
Yes, I do have a last question, about the body shape wise. So my preference is, if I do I'm into more of the curvy sort of type. Maybe if I'm not really too much interested in the white women, because they're a bit dangerous and crazy. So if I still want to stay with the curvy shaped ones, where do I actually go to if I have the chance to go to Australia?
If you're trying to avoid white women, but you still want curvy women.
Yes, sir.
Well, it depends, doesn't it, what you really classify. I mean, I'd still say these Brazilian women are white, right? Because they're European, but by descent. But they're
not
nationality. Yeah, they're not Australian white. They're like European. No, nationality wise, if you want curvy, then you should probably go for the Brazilian women. But then also, you know, there's the Iranian women and the Middle Eastern women as a whole. And then also you've got the Mediterranean women. So the Greek, Italian girls, gorgeous too, curvy. Anything I'd say about the sort of Greek, Italian, and Turkish women that you see in Australia is the ones that are like born there, but are like of Greek descent or Italian or Turkish descent. They're still technically Australian in terms of their mannerisms. So be mindful of that. They'll be like, oh, I'm Greek, I'm Turkish, I'm Italian. But it's like, yeah, but you're born in Australia. So you're going to behave like an Australian woman. Now, if on the other hand, they're not born there, that might be a better look as far as the femininity. And obviously, like you just mentioned, physique-wise, those women tend to be a bit more shapely than the standard white Australian girl.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Ransom McKissick for the $1 super chat. Thank you, Ransom, for the support. Much appreciation, bro. Thank you, brother. So there is the phone lines here, bro. I mean, here's a link to it. Caliphonic Arts. It's literally pinned in the live stream chat, bro. Can you see it? StreamYard.com. Click on here, then it will add you to the stream. There's no phone number here, bro. It's just a StreamYard link, okay? So if you click on this link, brother, you can call in, all right? But I'm conscious of our guest time. How long longer can you stay, Johnny?
A little while longer, and then I'll roll.
Okay, all right. Thank you, bro. All right, so call in. What the flip's going on here? Sorry, I'm hearing some buzzy noise. So call in Caliphonic Arts. That's the link in the live stream chat. You know, we want to hear your experiences in Australia. That'd be great, bro. This is a classic, Johnny. When you said Lebanese Iranian, that got my juices flowing, bro. That got me hard as a mofo, you know. So come on, you know, bro, like we go through so much over here in the UK, man. The women here are literally horrible, man. They're horrible, bro. They are worse than worse. You know?
It's bad, isn't it? It's bad.
It's bad over here, and I don't think brothers understand. They don't want to go. Obviously, an American brother, they'll come in, they'll deal well because they're American. But when you're an English brother and you're dealing with an English chick, it's like dealing with a demon or something like that, man. I'm trying to keep it PG. It's crazy, bro.
No, I was out tonight, actually. True stories here, brothers. Let me add some transparency. I was out for a friend's birthday, and I was in some kind of spot or whatever. And I remember I was at the bar, just ordering a drink, and some guy next to me, you know, did that typical like grab the girl's thing and try and turn away and let her think it was me. This girl wigged the F out on me. And I was like, first of all, it wasn't even me that touched her. She was so quick to like turn into this monster. Like, and I saw the face of feminism in that moment. And I just remember thinking, this is exactly why I date foreign women. She was like, I don't care who did it, whichever one of you, I'm not standing for that shit. Excuse me for swearing. She just went off. Couldn't calm her down for like a whole 5 minutes. And she was basic. She was like a 3, 4, or 5 at push.
Was she
white? The way she bugged out was like she was so special. And I remember thinking, Jesus Christ, this is what, and you know, I've only been home for like 2 weeks. I got back from Turkey. And I'm like, this is what guys deal with here. And I'm just trying to calm her down. Like, first of all, it wasn't me. Secondly, you're nothing special. And thirdly, in my head, I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? But, you know, I'm just trying to like diffuse the situation. The guys already ran off. And I'm thinking, she was getting on some high horse. Like she was so it. And that's what you get in London and England as a whole. And I'm like, man, I've been dating dimes in Turkey. Now I've got to be getting this in my ear? Psh, absolutely not.
Was she white, bro? Not. Where was she from? Was she white?
No, bro. She was like, I don't even know what she was, to be honest. She looked like she was like, I think she was like Asian or something, but it doesn't even matter. I could tell she was from the UK, like the way she was talking, coming out of the side of her neck. And I just
Chinese thinking, Asian or Indian?
No, like South Asian, like Indian or something.
And that's why I tell you,
the ego and the arrogance with which she was speaking, like she was so entitled. I was like, first of all the guy did was grab your ass. Okay, yeah, you could perceive it as a bit rude for him to do that. But the way she started flying off was so like, almost like, and she thought it was me.
Oh wait,
Almost,
so bro,
yeah,
so
like
the
she
guy
thought she was
grabbed
so special.
the guy.
That who was him or me in this case, because she thought it was me, to do this to her. And I'm like, you don't have a man in your life. I can just tell by the way you're talking right now to me, you don't have a man in your life. And you won't. No, but this is the thing with all this feminism and stuff. And I'm veering off here a little bit. It's this type of woman right here that ruins it. Men see women like that and say, this is why we leave these countries. This is why we date abroad. This is the attitude. If that's how she's flying off in that moment, brothers, for everyone listening, is that not going to be an indication of what's going to happen if you were to date a woman of this caliber?
Mm. So, bro, so the guy grabbed her bum.
Yeah.
And so where was
Cheekily.
it?
Fun. It was a bit of
Was
fun. He grabbed her bum. People do that all the time. She flew off the deep end.
was this in central London, or was this, bro?
No,
Or
this
west?
was just like some place I was at in London. I'm saying to myself,
Was it
not
central? Was it west or
yeah,
central?
somewhere in, where was I today? Northwest London somewhere. I was just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Again, you know, and again, if that was in Turkey where I just was, they would have laughed. And if they thought of me, they'd been like, oh, you're so silly. What's your name? It would have been a conversation starter. She flipped out. She was ready to get like literally the feminist sign and start marching. I could tell. I was just like, this woman was tapped. Like, I couldn't believe how she was, which surely was tapped. I couldn't believe how she was bugging. I was like, you're not even fine and you're bugging out like this. Crazy.
And she was Indian, and that's why I keep telling brothers, man, on my channel, there ain't gonna be no Indian, South Asian streams, man. We don't check for them. They don't check for us, man. And that just proves my point. You know, Indian
I'm glad it
women
happened.
are not checking for brothers, and we ain't checking for them too. So why am I gonna put them on my channel? Don't you agree, bro? Indian girls,
I agree.
they're just not.
Forget them. Like I say, this was a great reminder tonight of exactly why I'm like, no, I'll take my talents where they're appreciated. Absolutely not. I'm out for my friend's birthday. I'm not checking for nobody in there. I'm just here to have fun with my boys and kick it. But that was just a complete reminder of why I'm not. Even my other friend, he just got back from Barcelona. It's like a catch up. He was like, bro, he's like, I was dealing with South American girls in Barcelona. He's like, no one's got time for girls in London. I'm like, say less. You and me are on the same vibe. He's like, let me know when you want to come Barcelona. I'm going back. I was like, I'll be there. Because this place ain't the one for that.
Yeah. And it's funny how you mentioned South American chicks in Barcelona. I went there a couple years ago, and I told you, brothers, that South American chicks are all over Barcelona, especially Colombian chicks. Do you want to speak on that a bit, bro?
Yeah, I've been myself, but my friend was living there. I went for like a few days back in 2017, and they were everywhere. We saw girls from Ecuador, Guatemala, like really obscure parts, Colombia. I was like, wow, because obviously it's a Spanish-speaking country, so it lends itself to a lot of Latin American women coming over there, dimes. So that is one brothers should go. And my friend who said he's going back, I'm going to go visit for sure, because Barcelona is not far from London at all. So that would be an easy flight.
Yep. And they're checking for brothers too, the South American chicks in Barcelona.
Big time.
I remember when I went over there, the hottest girl I saw out there in Barcelona was with a brother. This was a peanut butter skin Colombian chick, long hair, had glasses on, slim, thick, saw her holding hands with this dark-skinned brother. I was like, oh my goodness, man. If he, and this brother wasn't 6'5", he was like 5'6", and he got a dime like that, average looking brother, then you can kill it out there, bro.
I'm saying, forget all this height stuff, brothers. This is what I keep saying. Like, don't let this stuff intimidate you. This is, again, these are all feminism fantasies. They've done this to kind of, again, perpetuate the war on masculinity. Forget all this nonsense. Get your house in order and just travel. Leave these women behind. They ain't going nowhere, man. They're all going to end up living alone with dogs and cats. Forget them. Get your passport. Activate the power of it, and get to a better station. Forget all these these near misses and these landmines. It's no good.
Facts, bro. And I love to hear your friend's experience with him in terms of dealing with South American chicks out there in Barcelona, because I feel like that's a very hidden gem that not a lot of brothers know.
True.
Your friend, is he black? Is he a brother?
No, this is actually a white dude, funnily enough. He's good people, though. He was having a great time out there. He was like, yeah, I was going to salsa clubs and stuff. He's like, you hear that salsa music and that Latin music comes on. He's like, I started to learn salsa it was a great inroad to meeting South American women. I was like, that's a great idea. I never even thought of that. So shout out to the white boys, because I was like, that's a good idea.
Thank you, bro. Calisthenics, can you turn your camera on in the background for a second so I know you actually are a brother? Thank you, bro. Turn it off, please. Mr. Calisthenics, turn it off. Let me bring in Mr. Calisthenics. How you doing, bro?
Can you hear me? I'm good,
I
man.
hear
How are you?
that loud and clear, brother. I'm
Nice,
doing good
nice.
as well, bro.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing feedback, bro.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
doing good as well, bro. Yeah, bro, you need to meet me on YouTube as well, because you're probably in the StreamYard link and you're also have YouTube playing as well. So if you meet me on YouTube, the what's it called? The soundtrack, the back sound, sorry, the feedback will go away. So let me know when you've done that, bro. Shout out to Mr. Riviero Group for the $2 super chat. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much love and appreciation to everyone who supports the channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you, bro. So let me unmute Calisthenics. Oh yeah, bro, it's still there, bro. Thank you, bro. So let me Yeah, bro, you need to meet me on YouTube. Okay, so please fix that, bro. Because I definitely
Yeah, let me go back. I'm having a little bit of difficulty
okay.
right now.
Okay, so please fix that, bro. Okay, thank you, brother. So I want to hear he's obviously in Australia, calisthenics, Johnny. So I want to hear his experience there as a brother. But you're right, man. You know, and it's you know, what we deal with in the West is it's not normal. It really isn't. And I keep telling my friends, get your passport, get your passports. They ain't listening to me. They don't listen to me, and I feel sorry for them. It's
getting
over
worse.
over here. It's getting worse, bro. You're right.
Getting worse. I'm telling you. Like I said, tonight was the first night out in London. I was home for like 8 months last year, but I was just hustling, just working. I didn't really have time to go out and socialize and date or anything. So that was like the first proper night out I've had in London in years, and it was very insightful. And like I said, I mentioned that experience, brothers, but it's getting worse. That was in person. We all know online, the rhetoric online is, I only have to open my phone and any woman I'm following, every problem in society right now is just a man's fault. Everything's anti-men, it's just horrific right now. We're getting killed. Excuse me. We're getting killed online and blamed for everything. And to me, I have no qualms now in activating my passport and just getting the hell out, because why would you want to deal with this? You know, if you can't find a woman that's going to work with you towards your purpose, a woman that will equally ask you to protect, provide, and preside over her, then why the hell would you, do you know what I mean, date one of these? No, but for real, logically, and men, we're more logical, we all know that, than emotional, which is what they are. If they're going to be coming at you with all this energy, look, don't make me swear, brothers, but you know, you get enough of that stuff from the outside world. When I come home, I want peace. I'm not trying to deal with no nonsense. You know, I'm trying to deal with someone who's cooperative. And here in the West, I'm telling you, you guys know if you're living in here, the UK, if you're living in America, you know how uncooperative these women are. Why even waste your time? It's a zero-sum game. Go to these places, man, and experience utopia.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for that, Johnny. Calisthenics, can you unmute yourself, bro?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, a lot better. Thanks for fixing that, brother.
Oh, no problem, man.
So, welcome, Calisthenics. Good to hear and speak to you, brother.
Yeah,
Are you
so here.
currently in Australia?
No, I'm not currently in Australia. Sorry to IP. I kind of joined your stream late, so I didn't get to hear what the brother has to say about Australia. But I have been to Australia many times, and I've been there. When I was there, it was like a couple years back, so my information may not be current. So, you know, all information I was paying is based on my experience there at the time, which was a couple years back. So, I don't know. I didn't get to hear the brother like when he was there, his story. So, you know, if he's been there more recent, then his story probably more relevant than mine.
No, it is, yeah, and it's definitely been very positive so far. Was your experience also positive as well, Calisthenics?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been to different cities in Australia. I've been to the first place I was there in Australia was in Darwin. Unfortunately, Darwin is more like a country area. So there are not a lot of people in Darwin. Not that much clubs, not that much stuff. So it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more challenging in Darwin just because of it's a more country, not that much stuff to do there. But I've also been to Perth, Melbourne, and Sydney. Of all the cities I've been to, though, I would say Sydney is probably like my favorite. I like the big city, and Sydney does seem to be endless. When I was there, it just seemed like it was endless. Like I don't know, it's just like a huge city. But as far as more fun with girls, I would have to go with Perth just because of my experience with the females there had in Perth. But generally, you have fun. I think you would have fun, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, those places. Those are, cities you'll have fun.
Okay, let me ask this, brother. What race of woman gave you what race of woman, sorry, gave you the most play in Australia, brother?
Honestly, man, I would say it's white girls, and I'm no offense to anybody, but I'm also mostly into white girls too. So, yeah, I mostly was after white girls, and it's most of the times there were mostly white girls. There are black girls there. There are black girls there, and they love brothers. I personally never hooked up any of those specific girls, but I've been there a few times with friends. They hook up with a few of them. But they are a little bit more harder, though. I feel the mental is a little bit harder with the black chicks as far as what I saw when I was there. The females that I definitely was not attracted to was the Aborigines. I'm definitely not attracted to any Aborigines. I'm sorry. But yeah, white girls is mostly. There's also foreign girls there too. I mean, it's not only Australians. There's like girls from Sydney. I mean, from like Sweden and different countries that's there, that's partying, that's visiting. So you'll find different foreigners there too.
Okay, so let me ask this, brother. The Asian chicks, are they checking for brothers? The Asian woman.
I can't say for everyone. There are a few Asian girls that are checking. Um, it's probably hit and miss. I can't say for everyone. I know I hooked up with a Chinese girl. It was a little bit challenged hooking up with her. I mean, there was a little game. There was a little bit of speaking skills I had to come into play. But I mean, I did actually bring her back to the hotel that day. But there's also had so I'm dark skinned and I had another brother with me that's like light skinned. He looked like Creole. He's fully black, but he just sort of have like light skin and green eyes and red hair. That's the complexion he has. And Asian girls came to me asking me if they can hook up with him, and he smashed like Asian girls like that easily. He just has a pretty boy look. He didn't have to speak much. So, like I said, it depends. It just depends.
Okay, thank you, bro. Thank you. So Callis Phoenix, you mind reaching out to me on IG, bro?
Sure.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Just so we can obviously speak more. 'Cause I think we're running out of time here, bro.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm just kind of short time too.
But there's my IG, brother. International Passport 5. Send me a DM, bro, today, and I'll definitely want to speak to you more about this, brother. Okay, bro.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right, guys. I'm taking off. Bye.
Thank you, Callis Phoenix. Fletcher Smith. I saw you call in, bro. Do you mind calling in again? Or Fletcher, you can also reach out to me on IG as well, Fletcher Smith. That'd be great, bro. Okay. Or if you can quickly call in, brother, that'd be great. So anything else you want to add, Johnny? It's almost 5 a.m. in the UK. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, we gone late again. No, nothing to add, bro. Not unless like anyone wants to quickly call in and ask me anything. I can't think of anything off top. There's probably loads I would need to sit down and break down. I was living there for 4 years, of course, but if anyone has any questions, obviously they can hit me on Instagram. I'm pretty easy to find on there, and I'm open. Just ask me something I haven't thought of it. Or sorry, if I haven't answered something you thought of, feel free to just reach out and ask me via the gram. I'm not hard to find. and I'm very open. So yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, bro. So brothers, going to end the stream. So Fletcher Smith, reach out to me on IG, bro. I think it is pretty late over here in the UK, and the brother is looking like he's gonna fall asleep any second. Johnny. So thank you, brothers. Thank you, Johnny, for taking your time out, brother, for
Appreciate you,
dropping
man.
this incredible information, brother. It's definitely been very insightful. So brother, in the meantime, brothers, you know, this has been another valuable piece of intel. Whether you have a preference for white chicks, Asian chicks, Australia seems to be a good option for brothers. The brother here did very, very well. Okay, let me bring in Mr. Fletcher Smith. Okay, thank you, bro. Do you want to leave it? Do you want to turn your camera off, or do you want to leave it on, bro? Give me a thumbs up to leave it on. Do you want to leave it, turn it off, bro? Okay, let me bring in Fletcher Smith. What's going on, Fletcher?
Hey, what's up, bro? What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing fantastic, brother. How are you doing? How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, I'm blessed, man. I'm good.
Awesome, bro. Awesome, bro. So, brother, I'm guessing you've been to Australia before.
Yeah. I've been to Perth, and I was in Sydney as well.
Okay, hold on, brother. Brothers, can we get some support flowing in? Hit the like button, brothers. Hit the cash apps, hit the super chats, man. You know, we're almost at 2 hours, 30 minutes. Can we get more support flowing in? Engagement is very important for the channel and for the algorithm as well. So please support the movement, okay, brothers? Thank you. So, brother, fantastic. So, what places in Australia are the best for brothers, in your opinion? We've lost a brother, man. Damn. Okay, let me bring in Mr. Fisher Johnson. What's up, Fisher?
Yeah, am I on?
You're on, bro.
Okay, yeah. I came in late because I just came from work. Pretty much for the guests, I know I came in late, and I know IP. I think you did one other stream before on Australia with another older guy. Pretty much, Australia is a major place where there's like a lot of Black people. Did you have any experience with the Australian Aboriginal girls or no?
No, I mentioned earlier, brother, that you don't see them in mainstream society so much. They're kind of in more rural areas. They're kind of sadly, they're a bit marginalized, you know. So you don't really interact with too many of them. I didn't really see too many of them at all, to be honest, let alone get to, date any. I think they live in like, basically the equivalent of like reservations out there, but I couldn't tell you what areas specifically, to my knowledge, because I never really saw any. I just asked people, I'm like, where are all the Aboriginal people in Australia? I never really see them. In the city, you might see, I mentioned earlier, you might see the ones that are like drunk or homeless, sadly, but in mainstream society, I didn't really encounter any Aboriginal people, to be honest.
Sorry, Fisher
they're
Johnson.
like,
Hold on, bro.
I guess kind of like out in the country, kind of.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fisher.
Stuff.
Sorry, bro. I need to let me put you on mute there. Sorry, brother. Unity is key, and T-Bone. Can you stop arguing in the live stream chat, please? We're all adults here, so please drop the argument, or I'm gonna time you both out. Okay, no arguments. There's no point. Okay, please be respectful. Stop going back and forth. Shout out to Mr. Riviera Group for the $5 super chat. Just paying my time out. Support tax for bad behavior. Don't want to get punched by IP or brother Phil. What? Hey, thank you, bro, for the support. Not sure what you mean there, bro, but appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. So let me Fisher Johnson, you dropped off, bro. Calling again, brother. So Mr. Fletcher Smith. So where would you say, brother, were the best places for brothers to go to in Australia to meet women that check for brothers heavy?
Man, I would say, see, when I would get there, man, the women I talked to was from Perth and Sydney, but I heard Melbourne was like the gold mine for brothers, man. I've never been there, but I've talked to women from there, man, and it's crazy. Like they want brothers there, man. But the women I talked to was from Sydney and Perth, the ones I dated. So I've been there quite a bit.
Okay. And what races of women gave you the most play in Australia? Was it the white? Was it the Asian women? Was it the Iranians? What race of women gave you the most play, bro?
Ah, man, it's the white women, but it was mostly white women, man. Uh, that gave me like I would put my Tinder there, man. It just beautiful women, man. Not even under 8, just tens, man. Just hitting, just. I mean, it's unexplainable, man. Like my man, he been there, but I loved it, man. The women I talked to, man, they really like brothers, man. And when I got there, man, they lined everything out for me, man. Paid for everything, bro. Like I didn't have to do anything, man.
I'm
Like,
saying a brother's listening to this. My man
yeah,
said they laid it out for him. You guys need to
yeah,
jump on last life rafts and get the hell out of America and the
yeah.
UK.
And I've
Hearing
been
it,
doing this for a while, man. I've been doing this for a while, man. And, man, I fly to a country, man. All these women, man, they got it laid out for us, man.
saying, he said it better than I could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't let them pay for everything, but man, when I get there, they got vacation paid, they got the hotel laid out, they got different spots that we going to. It's
Damn.
unbelievable, man.
They are very
Yeah,
courteous women at the IP. That's a good point he made there. They are
Oh,
yeah,
extremely courteous women. It's not really
yeah.
it's
Like,
the opposite of what I had in Turkey actually. These are the women that are like more insistent on like, catering to the men in that sense, actually. That's probably the
yeah,
place I've met the most generous women, truthfully, in Australia.
right, right.
so when you say, sorry, bro, when you say courteous, is that them paying for your food,
Yeah,
paying for your hotel
Just
in some cases? What the?
not,
they're very it's
a
the
lot of,
culture. They're very
lot of,
like friendly, matey culture. They're very sorry, you carry on, brother, but I experienced that. You carry on, brother.
yeah, man. I mean, because the thing is, man, I tell these young guys when I meet them, man, like the way I do it, um, you know, I chat them up, man. I FaceTime them, man. Once they get really comfortable with you, they really start to really like you. And man, once you get there, ain't nothing changed, man. It's not like it's awkward. You know what they look like, and they really kind of know who you are. And man, when you get there, they have everything lined out. They don't want you to get a hotel. They don't want you to get no Airbnb because they know what's gonna happen if you do. They want they want you to come where they at, and they want you to stay with them. And if you're not comfortable like staying with them, they're like, you can stay in my, another room, or they just want you with them, man. They don't want you getting a hotel, man. That's that's not gonna happen, you know.
Oh, damn. So I
Yeah.
put my hinge on Australia. They got some baddies out there.
Yeah, but the thing is that, man, I'm 41, man. I've been doing this since I was 26. And if you lay your cards right, man, I've practically got any woman, I mean, beautiful. I ain't talking about no eights. Like, I'm talking about incredible women, man. I mean, 'cause the thing is that you get them comfortable, man. Y'all start liking each other. And man, it's been crazy, man. Like, I've been to 8 different countries, and it's like I don't want to settle down because they treat us like a king, you know?
Damn,
He,
Fletcher, it'll be great to get you on the channel, to speak about your experiences, bro. Obviously, I can't
yeah,
go for another hour because I'm gonna fall asleep very soon. So, brother, do you mind?
yeah.
Are you on IG, bro? At all?
Y- Yeah, we talked a couple times on IG, man. We just never did connect it. We just never did connect, but I've messaged you a couple of times on there.
Can you message me again, brother? Today, please. Okay, when you get off the call, and then we'll have a phone call later on today.
Yeah.
Okay, bro?
Yeah, another thing, man, real quick. That I really it's another like man, the Iranian women.
Oh, okay.
I be putting my Tinder. A lot of brothers don't know this, but I be putting my Tinder in Iran, bruh. It's
Hey,
unbelievable. They tear
bro,
my page up, bro.
bro, I ain't going to Taiwan, bro. I'm sorry, I ain't going there, bro. I ain't getting, nah, bro.
I'm just laying
Iran,
it out.
nah, bro. I'm good, bro. I ain't going to tell him just for box, bro. I'm good, man.
But a lot of times what it is that they want to meet in Turkey. You know, they want to meet in Turkey. That's where they want to meet you at.
In
If you're not
Turkey.
comfortable. Yeah, if you're not comfortable going to Iran, they'll want to meet you in Turkey.
Why is that, bro?
Uh, because it gets them out of that atmosphere in Iran. You know what I'm saying? Like that atmosphere to where, because I think in Iran, man, I think they got restrictions on being with a man. So, if they meet you in Turkey, then they can be seen with you. They can hang out with you. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So
I
that's
can't
what
believe that. Sorry, bro. So I just can't believe that Iranian chicks are checking for brothers.
bruh.
Iran.
Yeah, yeah. I will, because I'm like you. I'm like the brother there, man. I love traveling, and I was like 2 years ago, I was like, or a year ago, I was like, I'm gonna put my Tinder in Iran. I want to see what these Persian women talking about because they're beautiful, man. They're literally a lot of them have never been with a black man, and they want black men. Like they tell me that they like I've never been with one. I see y'all on TV a lot, and they've never met any black men, dog.
Mm.
It's
Iran. Okay.
Iran, man. The
Interesting.
women, the Persian, Iranian women, they love brothers, man. Love us, man.
And they're pretty hot. Cause I met some in the UK and they were
Yeah.
gorgeous. But I never thought they'd be checking for brothers. I thought they're Muslim. They're more
Nah, man,
into Arab dudes and all that
man. You need to
stuff.
put your Tinder in Terrain. Just put it there, and literally 5, 6 women that hit me up on Tinder. How you doing? Are you here? It's just like they was. I was like, man, they really like us. They really like love brothers. No, they
Did
was
you?
just hitting me left and right, man. I'm talking about. I mean, even the ones that were like 23-year-olds, they hitting like, are you in Iran? Or it's just like, bruh, tens. That's all I can say. It was tens hitting.
Did you deal with Iranian chicks in Australia, bro?
Man, see the women I was dating, man, they wasn't trying to cut me loose, man. I ain't even go to a club, man. So I ain't really was able to experience other women, So when I got there, man, yeah, they just wanted me, man. They wasn't trying to let me go elsewhere, man.
Damn. Hold on, brothers. I want to give a special shout out to the brother, Mr. Matt Battle, for the £30 cash app. He says, "Thanks, IP, for giving us top intel consistently." Those are very powerful words, bro. Those words mean a lot to me. I've been on this channel, right, on this movement for 8 years now. 8 years every day pushing out content for you brothers, man. It's been a very tough journey. It's been a lot of hard work, but I care about Black American men. I care about Black English men, Black UK men, Black Canadian men. Every Black man in the West, this is our movement, man. This is our heritage,
Yeah,
So I ain't gonna stop anytime soon. We deserve the best woman all around the world, and
yeah,
we need more brothers like Johnny, like Fletcher Smith, Theo, Matt Battle, Thomas Demihin on this movement, man. Intelligent, educated, straight Black men. This is our movement. Right now I'm so happy when I see brothers like Johnny and Fletcher Smith living life the way it should be lived. You do well, and the women are waiting for you abroad. And these are
yeah,
women that are top tier that you deserve, man. You deserve. We deserve this.
yeah,
We've been through so much in the West, man. We deserve this. This is our heritage, and it's only going to get better for us here on out, man. So I appreciate you, Matt Battle. Those words means a lot to me, bro. Thank you, man. Crazy. Fletcher Smith, I'm gonna get you on the channel very soon, bro, because I, Iran. I'm shaking right
all
now,
right.
bro. The Holy Spirit's in me right now, bro.
Yeah. And yo, and the thing is that, man, when it's not like the West, like the women here, like I stay in the States, man, the chicks are around to hit you back pretty quick, man. And they want to know if you're there. Like they're like, are you here? Like, and then when you start chatting and getting to know 'em, man, and this is like they feel like I've never met a black man, but I've always wanted to. Like I've always wanted to really meet uh a brother, and man, it's crazy, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, man.
All right,
They checking.
thank you. They're checking, yeah. All right, thank
Oh
you very
yeah.
much, Fletcher Smith.
All
Please
right, man.
send me a message on IG, bro, and we'll definitely speak. Johnny, it's 5 a.m. over here in the UK. Jay
Yes,
Bones, I
bro.
see you, bro, but sorry, bro, I'm super tired, man. It's 5 a.m. and I'm going to check out, man. I'm really tired. So you want to say any closing statements, Johnny?
What do I want to say in closing? Yeah, I mean, we had a brother on the who had a question earlier just about is it worth it? I just want to reiterate the whole philosophy behind, and to kind of echo what IP just said, why I'm on the channel and why I do these streams and stuff. I always start with purpose. Obviously, I think any man, any black man specifically, should have a purpose for his life, direction for his life, where he wants to go in life, what he wants to contribute, get out of this life. And within that, I think travel is a big part of developing yourself, especially as a masculine man. So when I get questions like, is it worth it? Should I go here? What's there? What are the women like? I never mind answering the question. I just want to say, fundamentally, there is purpose behind using your passport beyond
Yeah.
the women, beyond the travel. Developing yourself as a human being is your birthright. IP just talked about heritage. I believe travel is part of your heritage. When you, and that's for those of us who do want to have families, who do want to procreate. This will be part of your legacy that you'll be passing on to your children. So it is worth it to go and plant your flag in these places, to go experience these things. I can assure you, and I've lived it firsthand, these things have been integral in forming me as a man, these experiences. And I'm sure the brother Fletcher and IP could testify to the same. So questions like, is it worth it? We need to go deeper than that. It is worth it. The question is, you want to know why it's worth it. I've hopefully, and the brother Fletcher and IP have outlined to you in the last 2 hours why it's worth it, what you stand to gain from doing it. So I just want to tell brothers, get your money right. Like I said on the last stream, get your house in order, activate your passport power, and get in on the adventure. That's all I want to say. And if anyone wants to reach me, like I say, you've got my IG. I'm an open book. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. And I'm here to help brothers just, live a world-class life, because that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I am doing. And that's what this is all about.
Thank you very much for that, Johnny. Great closing statement there. Thank you, bro. I want to say a huge thank you to you for coming on the channel and dropping major gems, bro. Means a lot to me, brother. Okay, so rest well, brother. You can leave anytime you want to from now on, brother. I know you're probably tired now, but thank you, Johnny. Okay.
All right, brother. Fletcher, appreciate you too, brother. Take it easy, everyone watching.
All right.
God bless, man. Speak to you guys again soon. Take it easy.
Take it easy, Johnny. Have a good sleep, okay? Thank you, bro. Mr. Fletcher, do you have any closing statements, bro?
Yeah, man. For the young guys, man, traveling it changed my life. But for the young guys traveling, I think you would love it, man. Get your passports. Going into being in another country is not like America at all, man. They absolutely love black men, whether if you're in Europe, Australia, Canada. It's not like America, man, and you'll love it, man. Once I went for the first time, it changed my life drastically. So get your passport, get your money right, man, and yeah, man, live life to the fullest, man. I mean, you'll love it. Europe, you can't go wrong. Australia is beautiful. Europe is amazing as well. I was there. Um, so yeah, man, that's all I got for right now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Looking forward to speaking to you today, and we'll definitely get you on the channel very soon, Fletcher.
Yeah,
to share your experiences, bro. So please definitely let's speak today, okay?
yeah, definitely, man.
Thank you, Fletcher. Appreciate you, bro. Troy, feel free to call in, brother. Shout out to J Bones. Appreciate you, J Bones. So Troy, sorry, feel free to reach out to me on IG, Troy. I'm super tired now. So we can speak over IG, Troy. That's my IG in the live stream chat, bro. So please reach out to me, bro. So shout out to everyone who contributed to this channel tonight. It is greatly appreciated. If you want to support, you can still support by the Cash App or the super chats. Cash App is open 24/7. Make sure you join the Patreon as well if you want to hear explicit and X-rated intel on foreign women, how they get down in the bedroom, what they like in the bedroom, etc., etc. If you want one-to-one IT consultation talks, if you want to join our Discord server and Facebook group and any other benefits, make sure you join the Patreon Diamond tier. Here, that's the link in the live stream box below. So thank you, brothers. I've hoped you've enjoyed this live stream, another classic. Make sure you all hit the like button. Make sure you all comment when this video drops. Comments are very important for the YouTube algorithm. We have over 60 people watching, so I should see 60 comments, today. So please make sure you comment, okay? Okay, that's a troll gone. Goodbye, troll. So brothers, please, so make sure, brothers, you support the channel, comment, like, share the video, share the channel around. A lot more special intel coming in. So brothers, have a nice day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are around the world, or morning. And I'll see you, brothers, on my next live stream. Peace out, brothers. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, brothers.